Hang on to your hats, you devil dogs, because the master blaster of all time is going to give you a soul injection.
They're
the 5 spunkiest little characters you've ever met.
It's a possibility.
For years, they've been waiting
Can you see?
Is it him?
and waiting
He loved us.
That's right.
for their master to come home.
Master! Blanky!
We've been dumped, abandoned.
We're not gonna give up hope.
But now their waiting is over.
We're going out to find him.
What?
We're gonna go out and find the master.
Join a brave little toaster and his unusual pals on a magical journey
I'm ready.
through a world of mystery,
Light! I see light!
fantasy, laughter, and adventure. It's an exciting, strange, and fantastic voyage where you'll see scary places,
Hey, fellas, look!
a whole lot of little creatures,
Get out of here!
a few odd contraptions,
But I can't open a lamp and a shaver.
and some devices that are simply
Remarkable.
They're 5 plucky appliances determined to find their master no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what.
Join an inquisitive radio,
Well, what does that mean?
a bright little lamp,
I'm glad we don't have to do this every day.
a snuggly blanket, a crotchety old vacuum cleaner,
You're telling me.
and a brave little toaster.
Time to go.
In a heartwarming story for the entire family. Plug into the adventure of The Brave Little Toaster.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to BAF, our second episode in our animated series. This is the one that Stu picked. And
Why'd they mute it?
did I mute? I didn't mute them.
You see that mute fucking thing?
Oh no, that's on the TV.
Oh, okay.
That because I muted my computer, so I'm not having that and getting a punishment shot.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I thought that was through the program.
Yeah, talk guys, and you're making me feel like are you guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
You're a fucking asshole.
You both did the same thing.
Ragnar, I know you're fucking with me. You're really? Ah, fuck.
Yeah, what do you fuck up, Ron?
I didn't do it. You're an asshole.
You're fucking gullible.
Yes, I am. You guys should know that by now. Anyways, welcome to BAF. We're doing our second episode in an animated series. This is the one that Stu picked. He picked a nice, cheery movie, The Brave Little Toaster. So we also got our regular guest. Oh, what was that, Ragnar?
What?
Oh, I thought you said something. Awkward silence. Anyways, we got our regular guest, Mike from Take on the World and Berks County Unsolved. It's really great to have you, of course. And we're going to go ahead and get into the details of the movie, which is Brave Little Toaster. Was released on the Sundance Film Festival on January 9th. It premiered in the UK earlier on May 1987, but only had a limited theatrical release in the US in July 1989. It was directed by Jerry Reese. This was his only movie that he did. The only movie that he directed. Now, he actually contributed to animated movies Space Jam, Tron in 1982, and The Lion King in 1994, and Beauty and the Beast in 1991. And he's also directed theme park attractions for Disney World. The Brave Little Toaster was a budget and box office of $2.3 million, and the box office, since it was a limited theatrical release, they don't really have a number or anything like that. So it actually became more of a cult video, like cult status on video and everything. A lot of people remember this movie. I actually remember seeing this back in the early 90s and everything else. The critical score for this movie on Rotten Tomatoes is 75%, and the audience score is a 81%.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's highly regarded as a well-loved movie. The main cast of this in A Brave Little Toaster is Deanna Oliver as the Toaster, which I believe is a chick. Timothy E. Day as Blanky. We got Thurl Ravencroft as Kirby. So if anybody knows Thurl Ravencroft, he did the song "The Grinch" from the Dr. Seuss special. He also did Tony the Tiger in the was it Frosted Flakes? Yeah, Frosted Flakes and everything. John Lovitz's radio. Did you know that was him when you first saw this?
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, he did a great job on that. We got Wayne Katz as Rob. We have Phil Hartman playing a dual role. He played the air conditioner and the hanging lamp.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting. And then you got Joe Rampt as Elmo St. Peter's, the junkyard owner. Let's see here. And then we have the movies that were released in July of 1989. We got the amazing Batman, Tim Burton's Batman. We got Lethal Weapon 2. We got When Harry Met Sally, which is a good one. We have License to Kill. Weekend at Bernie's, which you guys should check out the BAC's episode on Weekend at Bernie's. It was a double date episode and it was really fun. UHF.
Weird Al.
Yep. The Karate Kid Part 3. And then another great favorite of mine as a kid, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with Rick Moranis. Yes. So a lot of good movies that came out around that month. So we're going to go ahead and get into the drink of the movie. So Stu, I know that Mike from Take on the World did a little search for this drink. He had to go through like 20 stores or something like that. What's the whole story?
I went through 3 fucking counties to get this drink.
Oh, 3 counties? Jesus Christ.
I put like 200 miles in my car to get this.
I hope it's
But I
good
got
then.
it.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, you dedicated, man. That's fucking awesome.
I literally
luckily,
went
I had
down
a doctor
to.
appointment in Lehigh County today.
Okay.
And when I went down there was one store that's supposed to have 14 bottles. They had 14 bottles yesterday.
Yeah.
They had 2 today.
Goodness.
Interesting.
Well, I hope it's good.
And
Pennsylvania has state-owned liquor stores like Virginia.
yeah, but yours,
So,
Pennsylvania is better than Virginia when it comes to liquor stores, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. Then it's Maryland that's better.
Maryland's better. Yeah.
I
Maryland
think
is
we
much
talked
better.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think on another episode. I remember.
Maryland are privately owned.
Yeah. And Ragnar, what do you have for your drink?
Just regular. Basil Hayden.
Regular Basil Hayden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you said you were gonna fucking
He
bring
did.
some over and you didn't.
Yeah.
I knew
He
this
told
was
me since Saturday that he was going to bring some because I was like, so I figured out what I was going to get. Call and let him know. I was like, is Ragnar going to be live or is he going to be streaming? So I wasn't sure, but drop the bottle off. If I'll make sure to bring a mason jar over to Ragnar. So this way, no matter what, he's good to go. I'm like, okay, cool.
Never did.
Oh, yeah. Jerk.
I'll spin the wheel. I knew this was going to happen. See, I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen.
Then you should have done something different.
Should have done better.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And by the way, we haven't told anybody what the thing is. You immediately
Ragnar,
started
this
to go with it.
smells
And you
so
said,
fucking good.
Went
Does
to Mike for the story, but we haven't said what the hell it is.
Oh, I know. I was going to get into it. I'm just going to spin the wheel, and then I'm going to let you introduce it. So, because I'm taking my punishment, because I well deserve it, apparently. So, let's see if I get a nice self-destruct. That's what I'd like to get. Come on.
No.
What do we get here? We got a grab something yummy. Oh,
go.
I got lucky right there.
Yes, you did.
Cool. All right. So, what are we drinking today, Stu?
All right. So, Basil Hayden toast. Well, toast because of toaster, obviously, and then also another reason I went to this one versus some other just toasted liquors that they have. This one, instead of just a traditional rye mash, it's actually got a brown rice mash
Interesting.
mixed with their traditional Basil Hayden Kentucky Straight Bourbon. And the reason I did that is because about half of the animation of this film was in Taiwan, and I just wanted something with rice. Just like, all right, I just want some Asian shit. Let's see what we can do here.
So you got two reasons. You got toast and you got the rice. That's actually pretty cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to the brown rice mash is supposed to be a little bit more mellowing of some of the flavors and the spices that are traditionally there with Kentucky bourbon. But it's supposed to also elevate with the charred barrels and toasted barrels. The notes of vanilla and caramel are supposed to be more elevated. So a sweeter bourbon.
Yeah.
So that's what I know.
I don't see. The thing is that you actually gave me a birthday gift. I think not this year, but last year of that. And we've had that. We've had multiple
this,
versions. No,
not
not this
Toast.
one of a different one. And I know I've had some at Ragnar's house before. So, I mean, this is something that's been a regular when it comes to our drinks. But I'm actually really extremely excited to try the toast because the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel I really enjoyed. So when I saw that with the picture you sent me, I was like, that sounds tasty. So,
So does anybody know the difference between a toasted barrel and a charred barrel?
I would assume like more of a browning versus
charred is more of like a blackened.
A blackening.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would assume that's to me in my mind.
Basically, like toasted, like when you think of bread, you have a charred piece of bread in a toaster that's all black. But when you have just a regular toasted bread, it's perfectly brown and perfectly, like a brown color. So yeah. So
okay.
I mean,
I was just wondering.
No, I didn't know if you knew. I mean, did you know, or was that just you?
Oh, I had no idea.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, the funny thing is,
go ahead.
The funny thing is I had my son try this because he likes trying everything I get.
Yeah.
And I have no preconceived notion. I didn't read the bottle. I had no idea. And Stu just mentioned rye in it. And my son said to me, he goes, I think I taste rye in it. And I'm like, well, I don't think there's any rye in it.
No, there is. There is.
And he picked it out. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So there's rye and rice in this.
Yes. So here. So let's drink it. Prost.
Yep.
Prost.
Salute, Mike. Salute, Ragnar.
Oh my God.
Definitely sweeter taste. Sweet background.
I like the sweet background.
It's light.
It's mellow.
It is very mellow.
It's very soft on the palate too.
It is a very light mouthfeel. A very light mouthfeel.
Not heavy at all. Like when you see, like it literally tastes like a pillow on your tongue. It's very soft.
I think that's just in general for that brand.
Okay.
It's very sweet.
Yeah, but you don't get any of the heavier spices that you do with a traditional, Kentucky bourbon. It's super mellow,
but the toast
and the sweetness is definitely there.
But it's crazy because it said this is toasted. I figured it would have a little bit of like a little bit of a not burnt taste,
smoke taste to it,
something like that. But there's none of that whatsoever. So I was a little shocked at that.
You get the sweetness, but you can still taste that little nip of rye.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Exactly.
My son picked up on it, which is pretty cool because I'm kind of impressed with his palate for being so young.
No, this is a good job.
Wow, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that wouldn't traditionally be a rye bourbon fan might actually really enjoy this as an introduction to what it could be, and then use this to build upon the different flavor profiles to start elevating the different liquors and showing them what it can be. But this is super, super welcoming, super friendly, light, sweet. Doesn't have a strong punch to it at all.
Yep,
it's a mellow warmth, a very mellow warmth.
Very
very mellow warmth. Let's go ahead and start with the ratings.
Well, before we do that, Ragnar, you said
very mellow, right?
Yeah,
you're the
very
one that
mellow.
Very mellow, very mellow.
Very.
In case you didn't know, very.
Nope, I didn't get that the first time. That's
How about the 17th time? Did you get it the 17th time? All right.
you had the do you have the bottle in front of you, Ragnar, so you can show it to the screen? Because I'm curious. You said you had the regular version, right?
Yeah.
Now, does that one have a little bit of sweeter taste to it?
No.
I mean, so that one's more of like a smoky taste?
It's smooth. It's nothing simple. It's easy to fucking drink.
Oh, okay.
Like, this isn't an expensive fucking liquor.
I mean,
what's the price range?
This is $60 for this.
That was 60?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are they normally? About 40, 30?
54 in Pennsylvania.
54, okay.
And what are the
they're probably, I don't know, maybe $50. Okay.
So nice mid range. It's not
it's
super
mid-range.
super cheap. But it's not like a top shelf.
It reminds me of Jameson, because when Jameson is about 30, then you got the Black Barrel, which is about 40. So it's about $10 more added. So it's something
I
different.
mean, because it's smaller batch than what their main bread and butter.
Yeah.
So
well, you want to go first?
I'm gonna give this a 2. It's light. It's sweet. It's nice. Welcoming. Is it the best bourbon I've ever had? No, but is it good? Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. It's a 2.
I am going to go with a 1 3/4.
Okay.
I like it, but I think it's a little bit too sweet for my palate. I actually like a little bit more of a burn, a little bit more of a smoky taste to it. I do like some sweet bourbons, like, the sweet tequila and stuff like that you guys say it's not a tequila. But I don't know, something about this, it's good, and I'm still trying to figure out why it's called toast, because there really isn't that toasty feeling to it, or
because the barrels were toasted.
I know,
That's
but
why
I
it's
figured that it would have more of like a almost a smoky taste or something like that. But no, to me, this has a lot more of a sweetness to it. But it's good. It's not bad. I'd drink it again. Would I buy it? Sure, I'd have a bottle in the bar. So yeah, 1 3/4. It's not my go-to, but it's not bad. It doesn't beat. I'm sorry, Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. That is a fucking 2, and I like that one so much better. But I like the rye. I know, Mike, you said this had a slight rye to it. I don't taste the rye.
It's there on the tail. It definitely 100% is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just not getting it or something like that. But it's good. It's not bad. It's a good pick for the movie. Yeah. So that's mine. Mike,
I'm gonna give it a 2. I love the fact that it's got the sweetness, and it's got the little nip of rye. The heat that I get from it, I think, is perfect. This could be an everyday bourbon for me.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be high end. There's no way I'm ever mixing this with anything.
No.
And I can drink it neat, no problem.
Right.
Both my wife hates rye. So it's the rye isn't overwhelming. And my son, who has more of my taste for bourbons, both liked it. I didn't taste it. They tasted it for me. All I did was smell it. And when I smell it, I get a little bit of vanilla in there, but I don't taste vanilla. I just get that oak sweetness.
Yes. It's got a caramel. I think you said the notes were caramel. Yeah.
This to me, I'm glad it's on my bar now.
Good.
I'm giving it 2.
Okay.
It smells young. I don't know how else to explain it. It smells young. It doesn't smell like something that's been aged for a while and had a chance to mature.
I can feel that.
Yeah. But
it doesn't
still
taste
pleasant.
young.
No, it's still pleasant, but it definitely has a young smell to it.
Yeah. All right, Ragnar, how about the original regular that you have? What would you give that for a review?
1.5.
Okay,
good.
It's simple, easy. It's smooth. There's not a whole lot to it. It doesn't taste very fucking complex at all.
Yeah.
And you're trying to compare this one to like one that's been put in a charred barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna get a lot more of that deep, earthy oak taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
From deep charred barrels, as opposed to this one here. If they just do a light burn on it,
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, that is our drink reviews. Stu, that was a good drink that you brought in for the thing. Good fit for the movie. Definitely with the 2 themes, because I thought it was just the toast. I didn't know it was the rice. So actually, that's a smart idea. And the fact that this movie was animated in Taiwan. So,
well, not 100%. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll get right onto the movie, guys. Hey, having a hard time trying to stay up, trying to record these podcasts late at night?
Or are you up late working, driving trucks, working in the shop, trying to provide for that damn family of yours?
You need coffee.
Well, let us tell you about this one company we got right here. It's called Coffee Bros. Now, they got a very select blend of different roasts: light roast, medium, dark, espresso. Now, each one of these has its own flavor profile.
These 2 brothers from New York made this amazing company with an amazing coffee that you could order online.
So you just had the espresso roast?
Yes.
And did that thing wake you up?
I couldn't go back to sleep. Oh, man. It was smooth.
Nice.
It had that nice chocolate taste to it. You can just taste the chocolate.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't give you that bite like other coffees do.
Or bitter.
No, definitely not bitter at all. This is smooth, sweet, aromatic. This coffee here will absolutely wake you up when you need it to.
The coffee here is dedicated to freshness, quality, and consistency. Use the code BAF10 to get 10% off your entire order. The link for the website is in our show description. And I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. This coffee keeps you awake, especially for the late podcasting that we do.
Yeah, it's very much needed.
Try out Coffee Bros.
Coffee Bros!
All right, guys, we are back with BAF. So we are going to go ahead and continue with this episode, and we're going to talk about the Brave Little Toaster. I'm going to hand it off to Stu because he's the host for this episode. And why'd you pick this movie?
So for two different reasons. One, this is nostalgic as fuck for me.
Yeah.
I used to watch this all the fucking time when I was a little fucking asshole that I was. From the late 80s, until the mid 90s or, late 90s.
Yeah.
I watched it so many fucking times. And even after I got fucking high as fuck, I used to sit down and fucking watch this shit on fucking VHS. Just fucking blitzed out my goddamn gourd. And it was something that as I got older, I was able to start picking out different themes and different memories that would stick with me. And it really did well. And then also another reason is it's surprising that how dark it is when you look at it with the right lens for a kid's movie. There's a lot of dark elements and a lot of really, really mature themes that you're having to face painted up to be disguised as a children's movie.
Well, that was quite normal for the 80s.
It was.
There was a lot of movies that got away with a lot of things. I mean, when you think about kids' movies, that the language, the adult themes and stuff like that, to the point where it got toned down.
It wasn't even at the language or something like that. It was the subject matter was really fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Once you look at it with the right lens and
This one in particular.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little bit older than everybody here, but this one, and I watch this with both of my kids. This one in particular has so much darkness in it that I'm surprised how it's a Disney film. Honestly,
the sequels to it,
it is adjacent. I understand what you're saying, but wow.
Well, when you think about it. All right.
I think the adjacent stuff was off air is when we were talking about the adjacent stuff.
Yes, but
that's it's a Disney, not Disney film. But
when Disney distributed it, but it wasn't made by Disney.
Disney did partial financing.
They probably bought it.
They financed a decent amount of it.
Okay.
But it was a completely different company that made it.
Well, what this reminds me, this has got more darker tones, but when you think of the sequels, the sequels were like direct-to-video sequels.
Sequels were much lighter,
exactly,
much more in line with traditional Disney-type sequels, where they're very full of fluff and happy little rainbows and shit. Brave Little Toaster goes to Mars. It's very, very light. These ones,
but they deviated farther from the books.
Yes. Well,
this is based on a book.
It's based on a short story.
Oh, okay.
It's based on a short story written by a gentleman whose name I'm completely blanking on, who wrote a lot of fucking.
You wrote it down because I didn't.
Yeah, I have it somewhere.
I'll look it up.
But it honestly, it doesn't matter. It's most people aren't going to recognize the fucking name. It's not somebody super fucking famous or anything like that.
Actually, he was a well-known author of sci-fi and poetry.
Of sci-fi and poetry, but it's not well known enough where the general person is going to recognize the name. Like,
right. I agreed.
Thomas M. Dish is the author of the short story.
And he wrote a lot of sci-fi shit, a lot of weird shit, and most of his stuff had to do with some very dark fucking themes. He had a lot of mental health issues, and to the point where he actually committed suicide.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Which is weird because there's suicide in this fucking movie.
Yeah. up until the little happy ending that Disney insisted on.
But
Yes.
there's one thing I had to bring up is that when you, like I said, I was talking about the sequels and everything. It kind of reminded me of Land Before Time, because Land Before Time,
Yes.
the first movie, hit dark themes, mother dying and stuff like that.
By the way, we're doing the Elijah Craig toasted
rye
before Ron's pick something yummy. All right, and he was nice enough to go ahead and share with me.
Oh, I love that stuff. Oh, that's good. I love the rye. But the Land Before Time, that hit on dark themes. It wasn't a musical.
That's a much more nuanced flavor right there.
It's more hard.
Versus
It's more hardcore.
The simple
Yeah.
flavor and welcoming flavor that the Basil Hayden toast is. Elijah Craig toasted barrel is a much more nuanced. You can see where it's built upon the different layers.
Well, thank Goop. He's the one that brought it up, because I think we did this on. Were you on Any Given Sunday? No, you weren't. No, that was Ragnar and Snow and me and Goot.
Okay.
We did Any Given Sunday, and that's a drink that he brought. And to this day, I've ever since we tried that out, I love that. And I actually like the hardcore taste. It's a lot more brutal to you. Not brutal. It's not mellow. It's a little bit more hard. It's just that rye taste is very distinct.
It is.
Yeah. So,
But it's very mature.
yes.
All right.
yes.
Versus this is very young. That is mature.
Yeah.
And so I can see this growing up into that.
Yeah.
Type situation. And Mike, Ragnar, have either one of you tried the Elijah Craig toasted?
He did at the Any Given Sunday.
Okay, since you haven't tried this, but would you agree that it's more mature? That thought process that I'm trying to convey right now?
Yeah.
And Mike?
He said he's
have
never
not.
tried it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you just spoke
Yeah.
and said you did. Okay.
But the whole ordeal, while we're saying how Land Before Time touched on the dark themes, All Dogs Go to Heaven, same thing. Because All Dogs Go to Heaven was,
And then, but part 2 and part 3 and shit like that, they were
very-
they were just fluff.
kid friendly. Yeah, more kid friendly.
And
Where
even the mainstream ones, like the Little Mermaid or Aladdin or Lion King, their fucking sequels are much more happy, much more fluff, straight to VHS or DVD or whatever that was at the time.
Yeah.
And just like, okay, put this on to shut your kids up for a while.
Yep.
And which is fine. Those movies need to exist.
Right.
But it doesn't make the child actually sit there and think
Yeah.
at all. Versus I feel the Brave Little Toaster, it does. It makes you have to sit there as a child and think, all right, the world's not just fucking little rainbows and happiness and
ponies and
shit like that.
Even though this one was limited release to theaters,
Yes.
I think you'll see that like most of the movies that are released to theaters, as opposed to the ones that are released to DVD or video or streaming now, the original movie that is released to theaters will have more adult themes.
Yeah.
And then the ones that are to DVD
Are for
more
kids.
gears just to kids.
Yes.
Because they want adults to go
Yeah,
and
possibly.
get something out of the movie.
right.
And you see that a lot with a lot of the franchises, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just had this conversation the other day where like both of my kids, my daughter's 31, my son's 22. And like, I miss being able to watch some of these kids movies without someone judging me like, well, you're watching a kids movie.
See that? No,
I enjoy them.
That's the thing. I see. The thing is, I'm not a big fan of the animated movies nowadays. But I was watching this with my kids. And they're like, it was okay. I was like, this is great. I remember this and I enjoy this. But the thing is, that's with a lot of movies that we grew up on. We're going to go back to, just like when we were kids, our parents say, oh, you should like this movie and everything else. This is what we grew up with, and we were like, oh, this is boring. I don't care about that and stuff like that.
But that's the thing. I actually do.
I think it's a generation thing.
I grew up enjoying a lot of the films that my parents grew up with.
Yeah.
And being appreciative of where they came from, and then seeing the inspiration that I could see direct ties to films that were coming out when I'm growing up.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing them for our kids as they grow up. But that's what I've tried to, for the most part. This one is just something that is hard to get a hold of for the most part. It's something that, since Disney doesn't directly own it, it's owned by a small little offshoot company.
Apparently it's on DVD because I didn't even know it was on DVD, and Mike was able to get that. So,
but it's an old DVD.
I've had it.
Yeah, it's an old DVD.
Is it one of those DVDs with a little snap on it, or is it a regular DVD? Let's see what it looks like.
It's a regular DVD.
Oh, it's got a white case and everything. Okay, gotcha.
But
I've had this one. This I bought this, and now I had it on VHS, and then I bought it on DVD because my daughter wore out the VHS.
I remember we all used to wear out our VHSs.
So this goes back to the mid 90s.
Yeah.
And then my son watched it. Then there's 9 years difference between my kids. So
that's great. I mean, I got 8 years between my two, and like I said, when we were watching it to get ready for this, I told my 16-year-old, fuck you, you gotta get out of your goddamn room. Be out here, be part of the fucking family time.
What do you think?
All right. He's like, it's okay.
That's that's what my oldest did.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And my 8-year-old was similar. He's like, it's okay. It's okay.
But you were watching it and you were smiling like, this is great.
I'm like, this is nice.
See, but that's the thing. I think that's going to change.
My son came out and watched it, and like he's like, oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
Like we would get to a scene, he's like, oh crap, I remember this scene. And like he's like, well, I don't really remember that, but I remember this scene.
Yep.
It was just cool. Like for me, it's complete nostalgia. Both of my kids watched this movie. Both of my kids loved it, and I loved watching it with them. I don't care.
That's the thing. When you do your pint reviews, you can't go by a nostalgic view. You have to go by a critical view. So I'm curious.
I can do what I want.
You can that's fine. No. You can go by enjoyment. The nostalgia can color it as much as he wants.
Okay, that's true.
Right,
that's
critical is different.
True.
All right, critical is watching it with a critical eye.
Ragnar, has your kids seen this?
Dude, they hated it.
All right, did they think it was boring, or they thought it was fucking weird, or dark, or what? What was the reason for the hate?
I don't know. My middle walked out. My youngest sat there and watched it, and he said it's weird, and this is the worst movie he's ever seen.
Whoa! Your youngest said that?
No, Ron. My dog said that.
No, it's just I'm shocked that he didn't like it that much.
The worst movie he's ever. I mean, that hurts.
Well,
that like cuts me to my soul.
Well, even
Jesus, six, dude. Come on.
Well, shit,
but I loved it when I was 6. Okay.
And Snow didn't like it either, right?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
But you said Snow said it ruined her childhood. Now, did it ruin her childhood because she remembered it one way and then rewatching it?
Just hearing me saying it's
saw
stupid.
it was
very fond memories of it.
Yeah,
it's the same thing that happened with fuck, what the hell was that movie that Ron
Dracula
did? With Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah,
that really fucking ruined it for a lot of us.
And I can agree with that. I grew up watching it multiple times, so I was already prepared for.
No, it still pisses me off to this day because I remember when I picked that movie, you're like, "Oh, that's a great movie. I'm looking forward to it." And then you guys tore it apart.
Yeah,
you tore it apart. I was like, "Shoot!" He said,
so
"Fuck
bad.
you, Ron. You ruined the movie for me."
It was so bad.
Oh man, so it seems like all of our kids thought it was and shit. Ragnar's fucking.
I am shocked that it was the worst movie that he ever saw.
Me too. I told you it's a generation thing. I think it's a generation thing. We grew up watching this.
Even with my two, they were like, eh.
Yeah, but
they weren't like, it's a fucking worst goddamn movie. It's like,
I think it's because the movies that they watch now that are animated and stuff like that, they're completely different. They're, the generation's different when it comes to the movies. Our movies, in my opinion, are better than the movies that come out now when it comes to the animated movies.
Well, I can see that for younger kids now, the story's very disconnected.
Yeah.
It's disjointed. It really is.
Yeah. But for my kids, like, they didn't care. It was a talking toaster.
And the fact that it made you care about things. All right,
Right.
Things. That's what it was. They were fucking things. They weren't fucking like personalized animals and shit like that. Like most fucking
There are
movies
some
are.
deep.
It's a goddamn
besides
toaster.
Besides the
All right?
darkness,
The funny thing is,
It's a fucking blankie, all right, that you are caring about, and you're like, oh my god, they're like shunning him. Why are they shunning? Oh no, poor blankie. All right, they are making you care about items.
But that's the
All
funny
right?
thing is that when I saw this as a kid, I remember seeing Maximum Overdrive as a kid too. So it's like Brave Little Toaster for adults. And everything else,
yeah.
because it's people, it's like live appliances and everything else, but they're killing everybody. But the fact
Which
is,
I guarantee these would have done if they had the availability. All right, they were fucking done with the world.
Yes.
By the end of that fucking thing.
yeah, who's the smarter one?
besides the darkness in this,
Yeah.
there are some very underlying things that if you're watching, you could pick up on. That I think kids pick up on and adults don't.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And that's why it kind of slaps you in the face of what growing up kind of is.
Yes,
I
agree.
That things that are so important and so amazing and so centralized to you, even if it's just over a summer.
Yep.
All right. Really don't fucking matter when you grow the fuck up and they become useless fucking junk.
Yep.
And we all outlive our fucking shelf life and get replaced by bigger and better things.
Yeah.
But a classic never goes away, though.
True.
In the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you're right.
even then, it was like, oh yeah, I will go ahead and I will go back and pick up these items, these pieces of junk to take with me to college, not because they're awesome or anything, because they're things that I don't really care that much about, and I don't want to take these really cool things from my home now.
That's not the story I got from it.
That's basically what it boiled down to. That's why he didn't want to take his mom's shit, or Mom, I don't want to take your fucking, fancy ass shit, because then what will you do? Oh, I'll just be stuck in the dark and, be sad and depressed. And blah, blah. Fuck you.
Your dad's alimony will pay for more.
Yes. Where was the dad? Where the fuck was the dad? It was only the mom.
Yeah.
That's another
You never
Disney
heard
trope.
about the dad.
Another Disney trope.
Yeah, no, split up parents are always like a Disney trope and everything else. There's always either a mom or
Dad
one
died.
dad. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. It was. I was trying to figuring out because
Probably
it kind of
ball
reminded
cancer.
of Peanuts. Or
Probably
something like
fucking ball cancer. All right. That was fit with the theme of this fucking movie. All right. Hey, we haven't been back there in fucking a decade because, for 4 years, Dad was fighting fucking chemo.
Yeah.
And shit, and then he fucking died. All right. So now we're like fucking dealing with this shit. But we got life insurance, so we got this
shot in the
fancy
first
shit.
scene like Bambi.
that. See, that's another dark one right there. Bambi was dark. See, that's what I mean. Disney
Can't have two parents.
But that's the thing.
You are not allowed to have two parents.
It's kind of ironic because Disney had balls back then, and then they went kind of fucking toned down in fucking early '90s, and then they kind of went right back up because they went to the PG-13 route. But the thing is, a lot of the movies back then in Disney, like the '80s time, like the Black Cauldron, I think that was one where Disney, even though that's their movie, they kind of disown it. They don't, show it. It's on streaming, but they don't talk about it because of how
Disney
dark
don't like
it was.
blacks.
Oh, okay.
They did a lot of racist shit back in the fucking day.
Well, yeah.
All right, look at the fucking history. Disney don't like blacks.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
like the crows in the Dumbo movie.
Yes. Fucking Song of the South.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh my
goddamn.
God. Yes.
All right. Disney is racist as fuck.
Well, shit, Walt Disney was racist.
Walt Disney was fucking
hear you
anti-Semite.
again.
All right. He was an anti-Semite. Him and fucking Adolf were like, all right. Him and fucking goddamn Ford and fucking Disney and Adolf were all fucking buddy. And yeah.
Yeah. So, no, you're good. It's true.
By the way, the reason I'm not always looking at the camera, audience, is we got everybody else on the screen, the big screen right here. So I'm trying to be respectful and actually acknowledge and talk to my fellow hosts.
Yes.
So I'm
The
sorry if I'm not
fucking
talking to
gas.
you. I'm talking to them. All right, because they are my partners in this.
Well, we've updated this way to the point where we're looking at a 65-inch TV all the way across the room, and we're seeing Mike and Ragnar in front of us.
You're seeing 65 inches of this.
That's a lot of that.
Very washed out too.
Oh,
Wait, it's only
man.
65 inches?
I think so. I think it's 65.
That
Maybe-
feels like a 65 to me.
65 or 70 or something.
That
like
feels like a 65 to me.
Yeah, it's you got the 70.
You need to
incher.
go bigger.
I'd like to. That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
the
So she
wonderful
said that
wonderful
she wants
wifey
bigger,
says
huh?
all the time.
Yeah, apparently. God damn.
Wow.
That just made me. That just.
You just admitted to you
That
have
just
a
took my
baby
libido
there.
down.
Way to go.
That's not what I have. I'm sorry. All right, we're done. Anyways, back to the movie.
All right. So we're talking about nostalgia. Like I've already said that I saw this in the late 80s first time. Ron, I believe he said it was the early 90s when you
I
were
saw
introduced to
on
this.
Disney Channel. I remember I saw this on the Disney Channel, and I remember I didn't have the VHS or anything like that, but I've seen it multiple times because I remember a lot of the movies. Like you remember Fritz the Cat?
Yep.
No, not Fritz. I'm sorry. Fritz the Cat is the X-rated one from the 70s.
Fritz Cat was amazing.
No, what's the black and white cat? The one that had like magical powers. You don't remember? Oh, God damn it, Mike! You know who I'm talking about?
I
The
think
one.
you made
all
that
right.
shit up.
Okay,
Remember,
that time frame,
remember,
you had Fritz.
remember there was
you
a
had
clock on it in
Heathcliff,
Honey. Not
you
Heathcliff.
had Garfield.
Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember. I'll look it up.
I don't remember. Oh, wait. I
Is
think I
that
know.
Glitz the cat?
No,
Fritz. Was it Fritz?
Fritz. No, Fritz was not. Fritz
No.
was the 70s.
It was not family friendly. I can tell you that was, but that was a black and white cat.
Yeah, no, that one was like X-rated basically. Black and white cat cartoon. Don't say Sylvester because it's not. That's not what I'm looking for.
Tom and Jerry?
No. Oh, God damn it, Felix the cat.
Okay.
Oh, Felix.
Okay. Yeah.
There was a Felix the Cat the movie. I remember came out in the early 90s. I remember there was a lot of
Wow.
Yeah.
You had a fucking early 90s Felix?
Oh yeah, it was actually because I think it was based on a cartoon series, but they made a movie and it was actually pretty dark because I think he was like a magical cat with powers. I don't remember much of it, but there was a lot of things. I used to watch a lot of cartoons from the early 90s because Disney Channel, they played a lot. The Disney Channel always came free for like a week on channel 27.
Once every like 28.
28. Yeah, 25 was the Playboy channel.
It was.
I don't remember that. I remember that. But
You had
yeah,
to watch like this?
I believe it or not, I'm one of those.
Where it froze up just the way you are now.
It happened.
Yes.
I remember watching it late night when my parents were in bed and you could hear I think it was like late night sex calls or something like that. You just see and you're just like looking at the screen and all of a sudden it pauses right there. You see a nipple on the screen like and then it's gone. I'm like, oh fuck. I remember. God, I feel pathetic. Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Get 'em
fucking
X at
close
night.
right there.
It's fucking American Pie. I mean, they really made fun of that because I'm sure every
No,
teenager
it
in the
was.
90s
It was.
looked
And
at
like
it.
I said, every now and then, the scramble porn would get just fucking right, where like 85% of it
Yep.
was going good, and you're like, all right, I can work with this.
Yep.
I can work with this.
Channel 25. Channel 25. I remember that. Jesus Christ. That was old school days. I think the 20 through 30 were basically all the pay channels, I believe. I think there was like a Cinemax, and Disney Channel's 28. Yeah, you're right. God damn, that's bringing back memories.
That is.
Yeah, I remember that. But there was
So
like a
Ron and I, we both grew up in the same geographical area.
Yeah.
So a lot of our memories, channel wide, stuff like that, are the
probably
same.
about the
basically.
same. Yeah.
He's just a little bit younger by a little bit, not much.
About a
Yeah, but so a lot of our memories just happen to coincide very close to each other.
Yeah, and I just remember the Disney Channel being able to watch that. I watched it a couple times, everything else, and I enjoyed it when I was a kid. I mean, I had no problem with it. It was fun. It was, like I said, it was a kids movie, so you really didn't have a negative side of watching movies, or you're like, oh, I didn't like it. You actually enjoyed every single one. So, but it's nostalgic to me. That's the thing. I grew up watching this movie, so that's my side.
How about you, Ragnar? When was your first exposure to the Brave Little Toaster?
Probably when it came out. Not in a theater,
but
That was
VHS?
limited release.
Yeah, whenever it came out on VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I probably watched the ever living shit out of it too.
Yeah. 100%.
So.
And it sounds like, Mike, yours was more showing your children versus you yourself.
Right. I didn't watch it until my my daughter got old enough to watch it. So she was
what
probably
time frame was
3.
that? Like what year roughly?
94, 95.
Okay.
Oh wow. How old were you around that time?
95, I was 25.
Oh wow. Jesus.
Stop.
feel.
Stop.
It's okay. No, it's okay. It's all right. You know, I was fit. I had already had sex by then. You know, but that's about
Just
it.
because you guys got Similac behind your ears.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, you were wrestling at that point, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah, I was already wrestling then.
I think I may have just gotten my permit around then. Yeah, my driver's permit.
I got mine
Stop.
at 16 or something like that.
I had already served in the Navy and I was working in the jail for years already.
I do that with a lot of my fucking so I'm coming up on my 20th year. This year I'll be hitting my 20th year with my current job. And I see people now and I'm like,
you're hitting the 2-0 already?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, October was my 20th year.
Wow.
I just hit 32 years at my job.
Yeah. So I see people on my job now, and I'm talking to them, and they're younger, and they're like, "Oh yeah, how old are you?" I'm like, and I'm like, "Oh really? Wow, I'm this old." I'm like, "Wow, I killed people before you were born because I served." Yeah, I put people down in the ground before you came out of your fucking daddy's nuts.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus fucking Christ. I feel old as fuck now.
Fucking old, dude.
Yes.
I think we're all fucking old. It's showing.
And it just makes me shake my head that how old we've all gotten, especially Captain Cumbeard over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the one with the gray beard here, so yeah. Nobody else has got it. Well, Mike's got a little bit of it. You still don't have any fucking gray in your beard.
I definitely have gray in my beard.
Yeah, it's like
I keep it short though, so it's not as noticeable.
I like having a long beard. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a man.
No,
I
you
grow my
work for
beard.
a company who allows it, which is fine.
I thought your company allows beards now.
Up to 2 inches, not fucking.
I've seen some drivers with like 3-4 inch beards.
We give them fucking.
Well,
But
fuck! I wish that
mine-
happened when I was with the company because when I was there, I couldn't grow my beard that long.
Then it
Robert
was
Bowman
half
would come
inch.
up to me and be like,
Then it was half inch.
getting a little long there.
Then it was half inch. All right,
Mine's only allowed to be 3/4 inches long.
there you go. So
You have at the really?
yes,
Yeah.
and that I can see being a safety concern.
Oh yeah, because
But-
somebody can pull on it. Yeah.
I've had it like 3 or 4 inches long. And then like nobody said anything to me, but I trim it down just to make sure I'm compliant.
Yes.
But now because I'm retiring this year, I don't think I'll trim it again until I retire.
There you go. I'm actually curious to see how long it gets.
Well,
That's
it'll
off to
probably
you.
be as long as I was when I was down there
Nice.
because I let it go for 3.5 months. So
Well, congratulations on your retirement early.
thank God.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is. You know, and
Have plenty of time.
you and Adam, can talk about, the invention of electricity. It's okay. Which, by the way, we miss you, Adam. I know you were planning on being out here. Wish you were here. I hope you feel better soon, buddy.
Yeah, I think he's got the for when I called him right afterwards. I think he was actually driving here and he said he felt nauseous and shit. He was like, "Uh-oh."
Did he poop his pants?
Yeah, there's something going around. There's a big stomach flu going around and he didn't want to bring anything over here. So, and I asked him if he wanted to stream. And he's like, "Dude, I don't want to feel green on that." I was like, "No, it's fine, man. I was just curious." Yeah, hope you feel better, man.
So we got that obligatory question out of the way. When your first exposure was, now, does everybody feel nostalgic? Like what you remember? Was it happy memories?
Oh shit! I was sitting on the chair and with my daughters looking at me like that, looking all bored. I was like, "This is great." Like that's what I was literally saying. I was like, "This is," and my kids were looking at me. Says, "Dad, you like this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking grew up with this shit. I enjoy the hell out of it. This is nostalgic. I was enjoying it. This was fun."
All right, Ragnar.
Very nostalgic. It's totally fucking different looking at it now than it was back then. Knowing, like, not even looking anything up, or anything like that, but just watching it now and knowing all of the little hidden innuendos, all the insinuated things that are going on, and like it makes a lot more fucking sense now than it did back then.
Mike?
Yeah, this is so nostalgic for me. It's not funny, and for both of my kids. So we had, when I was on with you guys the last show, I mentioned to my kids that you guys were doing Brave Little Toaster, and then you contacted me and said, "Hey, would you like to be on that?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'd love to be on that." And
you're starting to become on all the animated series from the looks of it.
Both of my kids said that is freaking awesome because that was our movie. Like both, my daughter's 31, my son's 22. They both said that was our movie growing up. Like we remember that movie the most out of everyone, with the exception of fucking Hercules.
Hey, fucking Hercules was amazing.
James,
I never saw it.
James, what? You've never seen Hercules?
I know the whole movie from front to back, but I've never actually seen the movie.
What the fuck?
Because it was playing in the car when we were driving back from Florida.
Oh, you heard it. Oh, so you heard it in the background.
I played it over and over and over again.
It's a great fucking movie.
I've never actually seen it, but I know every fucking line of it.
Which
James Woods
still a great movie then.
James Woods is
radio
movie.
Fuck with your mind though if you actually do watch it then.
It will.
It's actually one
everybody
of Disney's,
that you pictured in your mind would be so different.
Yep.
And to me, I feel like that one's one of Disney's last good movies before when they got out of the regular animation.
No,
because I think they went to CGI like in the early 2000s.
No, they had.
Yeah, I think
99% of Disney movies, animated movies they release, are good. I would say they're good. The Disney animated films, the first runs.
I was gonna say Home on the Range was fucking horrible.
Okay, and then I'll give you 99 other films too.
No. Beforehand, there was a lot of great movies. I mean, but I feel like I actually like the old school animation. I think everybody's relying too much on CGI computer animation.
Okay, there you go. Talking about computer animation. All right, that's a good segue. So the reason that this film is financed but not made by Disney. So the wannabe animator director of this film, Disney person, and they came to Disney because they had optioned the rights to this story.
Right.
Like, we want to make this film, but we want to make it CGI. And this was back in the fucking mid-'80s.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
they had Tron and stuff like that. They could point out to the ways it could work. We want to do this.
Lasseter, I forgot his name, is actually appointed with this movie, and he's part of Pixar.
Yes.
Okay. I did see that.
So they're like, okay, how much would it cost? Well, roughly about the same as an animated feature. Not more than a traditional animated feature, but roughly about the same.
Right.
Why the fuck would we want to go ahead and do that then, make it CGI when it would cost the same amount of money? Why would we do that? If it's going to be computer animated, it's to save us fucking money or time. That would be the only fucking reason that makes any sense to spend this money at all to make this film. So they're like, oh, okay. They fired that fucking person.
What?
They fired. That day, they fucking fired them. They're like, get the fuck out. You're retarded. Go fuck away. All right. So like, shit.
I can see this being an animated movie with CGI, actually.
Yeah.
It's
so
very Toy Story.
They went to the Hyperion or whatever it is, the company that fucking owns this now, which is started by a bunch of ex-Disney animators.
Mm-hmm.
Since Disney still owned the rights to the story,
right?
Disney said, all right, we will go ahead. We were going to spend $10 million to do it in-house, but fuck it, we'll give you $5 million. All right, you guys go do it over there. They're like, fine, fuck it. We'll fine. Yes, we'll do it. We'll roll with it. They spent the first 6 months here stateside and coming up with storyboards, coming up with how it was going to flow, moving around different scenes, like the junkyard scene, which was in the middle of the original short story.
Yeah.
Like, let's go ahead and move that to the end. This way it's, more of a tying everything up in a bow situation.
So they adapted the storyline, but they changed around a little bit.
Yeah, they moved everything around and make it flow in a more traditional type story. Then they brought some people over from Taiwan. Like, all right, this is the style of animation that we want you guys to do. Then they went over to Taiwan for 6 months. I'm like, okay, let's fucking crank this shit out. All right, you guys, we can pay you a fucking 75 cents an hour. Crank this shit out, you slave labor sons of bitches. And they did. And then they spent 6 months back here afterwards cleaning it all up. So it was about a year and a half worth of from start to finish before they were fucking ready to go. Unfortunately, they didn't get the CGI that they wanted to do because they couldn't fucking afford it. And also during that time, the money that Disney had promised to finance got cut in half again, just about. Mm-hmm. And that's why you end up with about 2.3 million. I forget exactly what the dollar figure was, paid to Hyperion. And Hyperion took that fucking money and stretched every red cent that they fucking could.
Okay.
They wanted to show that they could still do amazing shit with no fucking budget. And that's what they fucking did.
Well, the animation style in this movie is very generic. It's seen in a lot of different movies, like especially the kid. I've seen other kids look like what that kid looked like, the master, as they called him. But overall, it wasn't that bad animation. I thought it was fine, but it was very simple.
Yeah, which is fine. But that is wholesome, welcoming Disney type animation because it's being led by a bunch of ex-Disney animators.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they taught a bunch of Taiwanese how to copy Disney. That's what they fucking did.
Interesting.
And then they go and do that shit and push that out. And they're like, okay, now we need to go ahead and cast the fucking voices.
Which I was see. The thing is, there's only two that I know, and the other ones are I never know, like Lampy, Blanket or something like that. But when I heard the voice of the thing is, I just found this out doing the cast. I had no idea that was Thurl Ravencroft.
Yes,
that did the Grinch and everything else. But he was my favorite character when I was watching this younger. I always liked him because he was grumpy. I always liked the grumpier characters in movies. And just hearing his voice, it was great. It was greithearing his deep voice. But John Lovitz, I actually did not know that in the beginning because I didn't know who John Lovitz was when I was younger.
Almost everybody there, except for Thurl Ravencroft, was members of the Groundlings improv
the fuck is
group.
That?
The Groundlings improv group. All right. So the Groundlings improv group gave birth to a great amount of comedic actors that we know.
Yeah.
All right, so Lisa Kudrow, Phil Hartman, Jennifer Coolidge, John Lovitz, Maya Rudolph, Paul Rubens, Kathy Griffin, Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan, Kristen Wiig,
so
Will
a lot of SNL,
Chris Parnell, Jimmy Fallon, Melissa McCarthy. Yeah, a whole fuck ton of fucking people.
It's Illuminati from Saturday Night Live, basically.
Yeah. But people that can sell a character.
Yeah.
That's what so the Groundlings are an improv group. All right. And that's where a lot of comedians develop their timing, their ability to sell a character, create a character immediately, and make you be emotionally invested into that character.
Interesting.
All right. So almost every one of those people, except for Thurl, came from the Groundlings.
See, I think
because they're like, all right, we got to cast people who can make you fall in love with these characters, who can meet you immediately, recognize these people.
Even the voice of Toaster.
Yes.
She's in the
She was
same-
a groundling.
Is she known to be in any other movies?
No, not really, but she was a groundling, and she had actually tried out for Blanky, and they liked her enough. They're like, we're going to go ahead and give you Toaster.
Okay. I'll see if I can find that and put that on the screen. The groundlings. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Oh no. You do research on the groundlings? They are a comedic legend as far as a group. And that made me so happy to see that's where they came from. So actually, just speaking of Saturday Night Live, so John Lovitz
found it. Yeah. I got a whole group photo of the Illuminati here for the groundlings here. So I'll post that on the screen.
The ground. So John Lovitz had just he accepted this, and then he got cast in Saturday Night Live. And he's like, "All right, I made a deal with you guys, but also, fuck you, Saturday Night Live. I mean, they're more important. Like, okay, we really want you to be here." He's like, "Okay, you got a day before I gotta go fucking to New York and record this shit?" Like, okay. They recorded every one of John Lovitz's line in a fucking one long night. They recorded everything.
That's dedication right there because he's got a lot of lines in this movie. And,
Yes.
and the thing about John Lovitz is he really has that like old school radio voice.
Yeah, and
which worked perfectly.
It worked so well because it always felt like he was responding to somebody in the room with him.
Yeah.
He was playing off of other people. That's how well of a, he sold his character.
Yeah.
When he was recording the lines, that it never felt disjointed. It never felt wrong or anything. He was always he felt reactive to the other characters.
It reminded me of when I heard his voice, and I found out that it was his voice because when I was watching, I was like, "Oh man, that's John Lovitz." And then it reminded me of League of Their Own because I remember he was the guy that what do you do when you pick up people for the team? When you
bus driver?
No.
We pick up people for the team.
Scout.
Yes, thank you. Scout. Thank
Okay.
you. He was a scout. I was trying to think of the word, but he was a scout. But I just heard his voice and everything else, and it was just right there, and it was perfect. But he has that old school radio voice from like the 30s or something like that. So and it sounded perfectly.
So John Lovitz to me was always. Go ahead.
League of Their Own.
John Lovitz was in League of Their Own.
I know. What I said was, so the radio reminded you of League of Their Own.
No. The way he talked in League of Their Own, he did the exact same voice in as the radio. He had that very like 1930s type of voice.
I would argue John Lovitz's voice is always John Lovitz's voice.
No,
I don't care what character he is. It's John Lovitz.
I disagree.
John Lovitz.
I disagree.
John Lovitz has a 1930s radio's voice.
That's what it sounded like.
But that's
I don't know
John
how
Lovitz's voice.
I don't know how to.
The critic.
I wish I could have
the critic. Okay, the TV show. All right, it's still John Lovitz just being John Lovitz.
Yeah, you're right.
All right.
I don't know. It's
Which
just
is a great show. I loved the critic. I absolutely. I'm not shitting on the critic at all. I think it's a great, wonderful show.
Yeah, one season. I remember that show.
I think it was multiple. I think
it was only one season. I
feel like
it was one because I actually have it on. I had it on DVD back in the day because I actually watched all the way through. I enjoyed it. I didn't know why they canceled it, but still to this day, I always love him as the scene in Rat Race when the Hitler scene. I don't know if you ever.
Okay, you're right. It was only 23 episodes.
Yeah, it was a flop, but it was, in my opinion, it was good. No, I didn't have a problem with it. But I don't know. I guess that I don't know how to explain it, but it's like that voice that you hear in the 30s, like an announcer type of voice.
That's so weird. Okay. So it says there's 23 episodes, but then I'm looking at IMDb, The Critic TV series, 1994 to 2001. All right.
For how many episodes?
23.
That's got to be a typo because it didn't last. No, it went out to 2000. No, there's no way. Because I remember I had the fucking DVD.
No, there was 2 seasons. Fuck you. There was 13 in the first one, 10 in the second one. Eat a dick.
I was wrong.
Eat a fucking dick.
I was wrong.
Sorry.
Maybe a whole bag of dicks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike says eat a whole bag of dicks.
Big black ones.
Ragnar says make them black.
Yeah. Sure.
This is an insult to
I'm
Disney.
glad Stu is our translator for you.
Black dicks.
Oh my God. I still think that's kind of crazy about the CGI part that you're talking about. Because I remember John Lasseter was a part of it.
I mean, yeah. I can you imagine though you pitching the idea of CGI
and getting fired?
And then that same fucking day, you're like, fuck you, you're fired. All right. It's coming down after the meeting.
You know what? That's a good idea. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And the thing is, does that guy still work?
I mean, I would assume not now.
I'm just curious because
that
CGI has like become the biggest thing now.
40 years ago. I'm assuming not too long.
Jesus Christ, that's how old this movie is?
I'm sure he has a job.
When they were producing this film, that was almost 40 years ago. When they were in manufacturing.
God damn, that makes me feel old as fuck. The fact that this movie's almost that old, because that movie's that old. It's just weird. I mean, but movies in the early '90s is about 30 years old. It's crazy. It's just time flies. Time flies when you're having a good time. But
I've hated life, so why is it flying for me?
I thought you've loved life, man. You love getting old.
I hate it.
Yeah, well.
Every day I wake up mad that I woke up.
Well, don't go into the tub like the little
the forever
drain.
bath. I wish for the forever bath.
By the way, that
I wish
fucking
for the forever bath.
Did that freak you out when you were a kid? The clown inside that dream sequence.
Once again, this fucking movie is fucked. All right, there was no reason for that goddamn clown to be there.
Like I said, well, it kind of reminds me.
They wanted it fucking taken out. They wanted that scene, when the fucking toaster falls into the bath, and when
so
the car.
They asked, what would scare a toaster? What would be the toaster's fears? All right, going into a bath. All right, like fuck, Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay.
Well, we also have a if you don't mind me playing that clip, it's the clip of the air conditioner going.
This right here.
His rage quit.
Where he suicides so fucking hard. All right. It's just amazing to me. And I cannot remember another film where a character kills themselves.
No.
All right.
No, that's the thing. No, when I watched this as an adult, because I remember bits and pieces of it, because, a kid, it's been a long time, and watching it, I was like, man, I completely forgot about this. He kills himself. But it was when you were thinking about it as a kid, you didn't think about it like that. You were just like, oh, this is just, what's going on. But as an adult, it's like, wow, that really reaches out to you. They really put this in a movie for kids. So this is the scene right here, the little freak out. It's about it's a 2.5 minute clip, but it's Phil Hartman doing the voice, and his voice acting in this, he has like a Jack Nicholson type of accent that he does, but it's pretty crazy.
What are you laughing at?
Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all.
I think he was laughing at us.
You know something? You're a real bright little lamp.
Oh, thanks. Hey.
You guys really have an attachment for that kid, don't you?
Yes, he was our master.
Well, that's real nice. And any day now he might come romping back, huh? Just come whistling right back in through that door and everything'll be the same. Real peachy keen like.
Mm-hmm.
It's a possibility.
Well, at least we try to be optimistic.
Optimistic? Somebody untie the knot in this guy's cord.
Why don't you just shut off?
Hey, I'm real scared there, Kirby. What are you gonna do, suck me to death?
I love that he was called Kirby.
What is it with you guys anyway? You act like you just came off the assembly line. Now get this through your chrome. We've been dumped, abandoned.
But he loved us.
That's right.
So what? He's a kid. He has a family. They move away, he moves away. It's a package deal.
But maybe they're
He's not coming back, pure and simple.
Oh, yeah? Did you talk to him recently or something? They could drive up any second.
You really think so?
I'm not talking to you.
The whole bunch of you gotta have a combined wattage of 5, maybe less. It's been years. It's scrap metal time.
Well, you can do what you like. We're not gonna give up hope.
That's real touching, Toaster. You're gonna get me bawling like a baby any time now.
I think you're jealous.
Sure, I'm jealous of a bunch of dimwits.
Them?
Yeah, because the master never played with you.
'Cause you're stuck in the wall.
So, it's back to that stupid
See, this is
static
when it goes
again.
dark.
You think I don't know what's going on in here? I know what goes on in this cottage. It's a conspiracy. And every one of you low-watts is in on it. Just 'cause you can move around, you think you're better than I am. I'm not an invalid. I was designed to stick in a wall. I like being stuck in this stupid wall. I can't help it if the kid was too short to reach my dials.
We didn't mean it, really.
It's my function!
Ghost, wait, wait.
He's gonna blow!
Poor air conditioner. I didn't know he'd take it so hard.
Well, he was a jerk anyway.
He was a jerk anyway.
Yeah. Seeing that scene and how dark it got, listening to it's different, but you see it on the screen on the bottom or in the middle of the screen right here. And the thing is that you see that thing, the animation and how dark it goes to the point that he's fucking killing himself. And watching this as a kid back in the 90s, I didn't think anything of that. It was just like, oh, wow, what's going on? But then seeing it as adults, like, wow, they put this in a kid's movie. I was not expecting that to be in a kid's movie. It went to that dark realm right there. Exactly. That was crazy. But
he just rage quits. Like,
yeah, like, he's done with life.
Yeah.
All right.
He's
He's been chilling there.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, he had a little happy ending though, because then the master came back and repaired him, and then he had that little goofy smile. So
bullshit.
Yeah, but
do you think
Kirby
that
says he's an asshole anyway.
And then he fucking left him there. He fucking left him there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. In an abandoned fucking house for decades. All right. Fuck that. You know how miserable I'd be? All right. Everybody else gets to fucking move around and shit like that. He is stuck there.
Yep. Stuck there for the rest of his life just to cool off the house.
Forever. And then he thinks he gets the forever bath.
That's his purpose, though.
Yeah. But he thinks he fucking gets the goddamn toaster bath. All right, he gets the forever yeet. All right, and no, he's fucking brought back. He's like, God fucking damn it, I was done. As soon as I was done, they dragged me back, fuckers.
But the other scene that really got to me, that really really made me sad when I was a kid. I remember that was the blender scene. The blender scene. Jesus Christ.
The mutilation scene
It's
where
like
you
doing
have
fucking
to sit
surgery.
back and watch some horrible psychopath rip apart another conscious living being in front of you
but
for
also
their organs to give to somebody else.
Even
oh,
tightening
you're
her-
lucky I found one in the back.
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah, that is brutal.
But the scene where you just see the vice tightened up, it was just reminding me of Casino and everything else being strapped down to the point where you're just like pulling shit out. And you just see the shadow of I guess the junk guy or whatever, and like that going through it and just pulling it apart and seeing everything. It was like, God damn, that shit's fucking It is basically killed him. He killed him. I mean, it was basically murder right on the screen for kids.
Yes.
Yeah. Even though it was an appliance, but
I will say this though, he sucks at doing inventory. All right?
No.
I just got a whole shitload of them back in the back.
Because in the front of his shop, he has radio diodes and fucking blender motors in the cases. All right. And then he says, oh yeah, I just got a bunch of these things dropped off last week or so.
He's using that.
Got a bunch more dropped off today or yesterday.
He's using that to sell the customer the experience, not the fact that you're getting something fucking used that I just ripped off fucking some piece of trash that I found in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
All right. Which, by the way, how the fuck is he finding random goddamn junk in the middle of fucking woods?
In the swamp
What
of all places.
weird shit is that?
Well, especially in the swamp, because I think he saw like
he's trying to sell used parts as new.
Yeah. Well, there's people that dumpster dive, basically.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, dumpster dive to get like parts and everything and sell them and make money off of it. I mean, that's what he's doing, really. But I mean, seriously, that whole scene altogether, and also I think Phil Hartman did the voice of the lamp coming down, which had that more of like that.
He would do that.
What is it? Igor type of
that
voice.
isn't Igor. That is more of a
creepy old dude.
No,
it's based off like a character
God,
in a movie.
the Maltese Falcon type bad guy, henchman. Yes, I'm doing it. Like yes, and I got them. Yeah.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Even Looney Tunes has done like little things where you see the face and everything of that character and everything else. So when you see the character on the screen of the lamp, that face has been used in a lot of other animation styles to be that character. Using that type of voice, but it was cool. I didn't realize Phil Hartman had that many good voice talent like that.
He was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, because I know he was on The Simpsons a lot. I know he was a big as Troy McClure on The Simpsons and a whole bunch of other characters and everything else. But he did a good job. And
up until he, unfortunately met the business end of a shotgun.
Yeah, from his wife or something like that.
He was amazing.
Yeah, I love Phil Hartman. I love Phil Hartman. I've always had I think he was a great comedian, and he would be good this day if he was still alive. Rest in peace. He did good. But I did not know that he was in this movie until I was an adult, actually. That's the thing. Watching this as a kid. Well, as a kid, I didn't know who Phil Hartman was in the early 90s. I didn't know who John Lovitz was when I was in the early 90s. I just watched movies to enjoy it. When you're older and you find out, oh, shit, it's Phil Hartman. Oh, throw Ravencroft. I wasn't expecting that in this movie. I mean, he's been in a lot, like I said, Tony the Tiger and the Grinch That Stole Christmas, the whole singing part. And he's very known to have he's also been in a lot of other things, but he's being very known to have a very deep bass voice. And he was great for the Kirby vacuum cleaner, which I thought was great being called Kirby, because I owned a Kirby myself, because I got fucked by the told him that to go ahead and buy it, and I spent the $2,000 on it, and that was a waste of money. I sold that thing, but it was funny to see that.
Do you know in the books they didn't really have names? In the books they were just referred to as the blanket,
yes,
or the vacuum, or the
they didn't
toaster.
have genders even. They were referred to as it.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
And the vacuum was not a Kirby at all. It was a Hoover.
I'm surprised that maybe they couldn't get the rights to Hoover, so they had to go with Kirby.
Well, when the book was written, Hoover was a bigger name than Kirby.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kirby was a cuter name.
Yeah.
For a kid's movie.
And a better looking vacuum, I would say.
Which, goddamn, that thing fucking shit took a lot of grass. It was funny also. That was another thing. It was a whole going to the bathroom scene with the Kirby.
Yeah, that was funny.
Behind the tree.
Yeah.
He's basically taking a shit behind the tree.
Dust bags.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. That was another little
Peter Lorre, by the way, was the inspiration, the actor who was the inspiration.
What movie
for
was
the
he in?
hanging? Peter Lorre was in a bunch of it.
I know, but he was I thought he played like an Igor character.
The Maltese Falcon, Passage to Marseille, Casablanca, Comedy of Terrors, The Man Who Knew Too Much.
The Man Who Knew Too Much.
Arsenic and Old Lace, The Raven, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
No, you as soon as you see him, you recognize him.
Yeah, he's got he's a smaller guy. I know exactly who that is.
Big eyes and yes, I will do this. Yes.
For some reason, I always related him thinking that he was almost like an Igor character. I thought he was an Igor character in a movie or something like that.
No, so Igor is kind of played it as a parody of Peter Lorre.
Okay, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. But Peter Lorre was a person who had big ass fucking eyeballs.
Yeah.
They just played it right.
I think the best guy with the eyeballs is from Young Frankenstein. He was the British comedian. I forgot his name. I did.
He was inspired by Peter Lorre and his actions. Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
You gonna go ahead?
You're hosting.
Okay. No, you just started a different tangent about.
No, I just did that. I'm done with that fact.
Can you stub your toe, please?
No, fuck you.
All right.
Take a punishment shot.
Really? Okay, go ahead.
What the fuck?
Go ahead.
You fucking.
Go ahead.
I was kidding.
No.
Punish me.
Said that you'll take one.
Yeah. Honesty.
God damn it. Why do I do this?
Because you're dumb?
Because I don't.
Because you're fucking blanky level?
Let's see what we got. We have Daddy Picks.
Oh.
Fuck.
You fucked up.
Yeah, I did. What's my punishment, Daddy? God damn it. Yeah, of course, this is you get to pick whatever you want.
You know what? Just because it's been sitting in front of me, I want you to do a 50-50 mix of Seedlip DiSerrano.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're sitting in front of me. That's all.
I don't even know why they're sitting in front of you.
I have no idea. I just imagine, though, it's not going to be good.
That's going to be interesting. All right, go ahead and go on your tangent. I'll go ahead and mix this and see what this...
All right, so...
In my mind, that's going to suck.
Exactly.
Yeah, the sea lip tastes like water. It doesn't bother me. I don't know why Sammy makes a big deal about it because it's not bad at all. This is very sweet, so...
I just think it's going to be a gross fucking mixture.
It sounds like you're trying to convince yourself of something.
Yeah.
It could be good. You know, it could.
It could be. I don't think it will be.
I can already smell it from here. Jeez. All right. All right. It's like fucking piss. All right. Cheers to my punishment shot that I don't know why I did that.
Because you volunteered to.
You're
gross.
Smells good.
Oh, that's good.
It tastes like watered down or less carbonated Dr. Pepper.
Really?
I'm dead serious.
Okay.
It tastes like Dr. Pepper without the carbonation.
So flat Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, flat Dr. Pepper. Yeah, that wasn't bad at all.
Okay.
That wasn't bad at all. That was weird. Yeah.
That was creative. All right.
That was different.
All right. Who was your favorite character?
I was a cross between the radio and Kirby, but it'd be Kirby. Kirby was my favorite character when I was a kid. I enjoyed him the most, so it'd probably be Kirby.
Okay.
I just enjoy the grumpiness, and he was just kind of like he was like the badass, especially pulling them and everything else. He was always he wasn't afraid to say what he wanted to say. I enjoyed Kirby more. Yeah. You think he was a bitch?
He was a bitch.
I didn't feel like he was a bitch. I felt like Blanky was a bitch.
Whoa.
Nope. Blanky fucking tried to be everybody's friend.
Blanky, man.
Blanky tried to be everybody's friend. That's all.
I like Kirby.
All right, and everybody else was fucking assholes with Blanky.
Oh, whatever. All right, that's mine. Kirby.
All right. Mike, who is your favorite character?
Blanky.
With that baby cry that he had?
Blanky got treated like shit.
He did.
Blanky's entire reason for existence was to snuggle with people.
Snuggle and cuddle. Yeah.
All right. That was his entire reason.
You know what? I will.
All he wanted to do was love on somebody.
I will admit, it was really cool that he turned himself into a tent to keep him out of the rain. That was cool.
But I don't know if you're going to touch on this, but there was a switch after the meadow scene, and in the book there was a lot more dialogue with the tulip flower. So the toaster goes over tulip flower, sees the flower sees its reflection in toaster, and the tulip flower had been disconnected from the other flowers by a hedge.
Yeah.
That was another dark scene right there.
That was.
It was actually a little bit of symbolism to that scene.
Yeah, it was like that motherfucking flower was stuck where it was
Right.
at.
By itself.
Yeah.
Without any other flowers around.
And then it saw what it saw.
It immediately fell in love with Toaster.
Yeah.
Because it thought it saw its soulmate, and it's still fucking stuck there.
It was actually a sad little part of the movie.
So if you read the book, in the book, because the writer of the book was into poetry, there is poetry in the book in that scene.
Really?
And it's basically like, I don't care who you are, what you are. I don't care what color you are. I've been so alone. I just need somebody. And Toaster was like, I'm afraid, so he hid behind the other hedge.
Yeah.
And when in the movie, there wasn't much dialogue, but he looked through the hedge, and when he ran away from the flower started dying. It started drooping, wilting, dropping its petals, and basically dying.
Yep.
Which means, and there was no happy story for that flower in the movie too. It just like
no. But so Toaster took that and looked at it and said, well, that's how he'd been treating Blanky.
Yeah.
And if you watch the movie, after that scene, Toaster treats Blanky completely different.
Yeah. Right. Much more respect and understanding, yes.
Yeah, because they all were kind of making fun of him in the beginning. and then he became more of a loved character at the end and everything
Well, even
else.
Lampy says to him, "How come all of a sudden you like Blanky?
Yeah.
Like, why all of a sudden you're snuggling with Blanky?"
Which
Like, I don't get it.
I felt like that scene right there where Lampy was talking to Toaster and everything else about, you know, why you like them, and he was kind of like learning thing. That was almost like a moral story to the movie that kids probably wouldn't have understood at a younger age.
Understood?
I'm sorry, understood.
Or understood, either one.
Sorry.
I've heard it both ways.
My words, understood. Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
come on, man.
I
You know I'm not
I
good
just
with
want to
words.
point out, you said understand.
Understood. So, yeah.
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah.
And one way is wrong.
Yeah, one way is wrong. No, I admit I said it wrong. I meant understood. Simple mind. But overall, I it's kind of like a moral story to there because it's kind of almost like teaching you, like, you know, friendship. You know, you need to care for people and stuff like that. So,
But he didn't get that until after the flower scene.
Yeah. Until he recognized somebody else.
He recognized, look, we've been treating him like shit.
Yeah.
And all he's wanted to do is be friends with us.
Right.
All he's wanted to do is snuggle with us.
well, he was also the hero of the story at one point because right afterwards, then Blanky got thrown in the storm, and then he kind of sacrificed his like self where he plugged himself into the battery to charge it up with the lightning bolt. That, like, I thought he died in that scene when I was a kid. I remember that. I thought
Lampy was the one.
Lampy did.
Yeah,
that
that's what
should have died.
That's what I'm talking about.
Lampy should have died.
You feel like he did?
Lampy, when I first watched this with my
Lampy
daughter,
shouldn't have come back.
I was hoping Lampy would fucking die.
Lampy. And
That would have made the movie darker.
Not
as
because, no, but it wasn't because I didn't like Lampy. Lampy they set him up for the perfect fucking hero sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it would have meant so much more him sacrificing himself for his friends, for his family, so they can continue on. And then them bringing him back with a cracked bulb, just all that did was cheapen.
Yeah, because he talked normal after that. It kind of reminded me of the scene from the Neverending Story with the horse. Atreyu, yeah, when he dies. I think that's like nostalgic and very saddening to all kids at our age. We were like, what the fuck?
So
Kill the horse.
I've been seeing multiple fucking costumes lately of people dressed like them pulling a fucking flat horse behind them. I'm like, oh my god!
No, you talking about
so fucked up.
You talking about the black?
So fucked up.
You talking about the black
It's
dude
so
walking out of
awesome.
the house during trick or treating, and he was like, he opens the door and he sees the kid dressed up like that. He was like,
I've seen a few different ones,
and he starts getting all like teary
I've seen a few
eyed.
different ones.
Yeah,
but that is so hard.
Oh yeah,
that is so hard.
It's a classic movie, but yeah, trust me. That like I said, 80s had balls when it comes to movies. They don't do that nowadays. Well, now they've started to lighten up. They're starting to get a little bit more dark again with movies. But back in the 80s, they didn't give a fuck. They went for it. They killed people off that you weren't expecting. I mean, fucking Kroll the Conqueror. Kroll. Remember Kroll?
Yeah.
The Cyclops dude. Fucking love that character. And he gets fucking squished between the two rocks. I was like, man, why'd they have to fucking kill him off? They kill off your favorite characters in the movies. So
He
if they
needed to die.
if they
He
killed,
needed to die for the story.
He needed to die.
if he
needed to die.
ooh, that would have made the movie even more.
He needed to die.
Yeah, well, it didn't happen though. So that was a little light move for that. Didn't happen.
Death onto you, Cyclops.
Okay, so Blanky, Kirby. How about you, Ragnar? Who's your favorite character?
Radio.
I figured.
I like Radio. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I know what what's his name? Cuba Gooding Jr. movie.
Yeah, 100%. Just imagine fucking Radio being retarded now. All right, just fucking being retarded, and it's like, oh my god, that would have made the movie even more fucked up. Jesus Christ. Especially when Kirby goes to beat his ass. All right. Oh fuck. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, he was just a fucking smartass and kind of a fucking know-it-all.
Yeah.
But he always referenced Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Throughout all of his monologues, all of his scenes had something to do with fucking Roosevelt in it.
Yeah.
And shit.
I love how he also do like baseball and stuff like that in there, and it was great.
It was good.
Yeah, enjoyed that. So who's yours?
Honestly, Kirby.
At least I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
So there you go.
No, Kirby, just because he's an asshole and
Indeed.
he's willing to do what it takes for his fucking friends, but he doesn't want to fucking be around people either.
Yeah.
And I can respect that.
Yep.
I truly can.
Well, like I said, somebody kills himself, and he still he was
even
being a
though
jerk.
he magically at times and needed that fucking chair with the battery, and at times he didn't. Which my oldest son was like, "Where the fuck did the goddamn chair go?" when they're going through that goddamn forest and shit like that. He's like, "Yeah, no, you're absolutely right."
I really liked how he uses his electric cord as almost like a pulley system, where he pulled up with his and everything else.
And that is a super advanced goddamn cord. It's got a self-retracting cord.
Yep,
super fucking shiny.
Let me ask a question. So, he used the cord to save Blanky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, because that's my favorite character. However, right after that, they go up to the waterfall. He has a nervous fucking breakdown.
Yes.
He tries to eat his cord, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, he's going to eat his cord!" But he just did that to save Blanky.
Yes.
I thought that was like a whole thing about. I remember when I saw that a kid, I thought like the water hit him and it ruined his electronics or something like that.
No.
That's why I did that.
No, he was just having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, mentally he was fucked.
Okay. I
Which
couldn't figure
is
that out.
another adult theme in a fucking goddamn children's movie about fucking stress and anxiety and loneliness and the mental fucking pressure it puts you under.
Well, Toaster went through the same thing because he had an anxiety attack also when he was trying to cross the ravine or the cliff on the waterfall.
So right after that, they're trying to cross the ravine. Let me check the back of this fucking thing here.
And fucking Toaster had
Here you go.
freak out.
On the
and
back of this,
everyone
if you
died.
can see that, without the
I
shiny,
can't see shit.
It is with the glare. Yeah, even with the glare.
sucks. But Toaster there is smiling like a motherfucker while they're trying to cross that ravine.
Yeah.
He was not smiling during the movie.
No, they do that just to pull the movie and they're like, oh yeah, this is a very happy joy movie, and then you watch it's like, oh,
that shit's
So he-
fucked.
Toaster slips and goes back down.
Yeah.
The cords unravel, they fall down. So Kirby's standing up there, right? And he's like Eeyore for a second, like, what the fuck? He's not jumping in to save him.
He's going to kill himself.
He's unaliving himself.
Yes. He is going to suicide right then and there. He's like, either
I hadn't thought of
A,
that.
I'm going to be with them and live, or more than likely, I'm going to with them and die.
Yeah.
I
didn't
He
think that.
just had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
He just lost all his friends. I'm jumping off the fucking cliff.
He's
And
looking
then when he gets
around.
down,
He's
he
like, oh
realizes,
shit,
oh my
what do
God,
I
I
fucking
can save
do?
'em.
Oh my fucking God. They're all fucking dead now. Fuck this. Forever bath. All right. And fucking yeet.
Unbelievable. All right. Hey, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, guys. So we will be right back.
Hey there, it's the Barrel Age Chicks. I'm Sammy.
I'm Snow. I'm Crystal, often called Moused, and I'm here too.
And then we also have Yen and Harley, who sadly are not with us, but that's okay. We're here to talk to you about our podcast.
Woo!
Tune in because it's a lot of fun, and you get to hear the chick side of things.
You're gonna BS about movies and drinking and life and momming, and we're
Lots of
good.
laughing. Lots of laughing.
I laugh,
But it's great. Yes.
we
do.
have finished our first season.
And we're starting our second season.
Good lord.
2024. Here we come.
I know. Enjoy it. Join us on all of the platforms.
Hear them talk and me listen.
You talk.
You can find us on Instagram and Facebook.
Pretty much anywhere you can hear voices on a phone.
And yeah, so give us a follow, check us out.
Watch us give Ron aneurysms.
It's the best part.
And thanks for listening. We will talk to you soon.
Have you ever wondered how in the hell did I get here? You're not alone. My podcast is called True Crime Connections. It's an advocacy podcast where I talk with survivors of toxic relationships, abusive marriages. We all have one thing in common. How in the hell did we get here? And how do we get out? How do we find our self-worth again? Well, if you feel that way, come check out my podcast, because not only do you get actionable steps to take to help you take your life back, but you can listen to how others have dealt with their own situations, including addiction, suicidal ideation, and low self-worth and respect. We can get you on the right track. Make sure to check out True Crime Connections. See you there.
All right, guys, we are back from our break, so we're going to get back to the movie. Stu?
All right. So we keep hitting on the dark themes that inadvertently show up. Stuff that, unless you watched it numerous times as you were growing up, kind of fall away out of your memory.
Yeah.
But I do feel sticks with kids. They don't even know that it's fucking sticking with them. But it does mold their life view.
Yeah.
Which does fit with, like I said, this author, his style of stories, which are darker. They all have serious points to them, even though it's veiled in a lighthearted subject matter.
Yeah.
It is very heavy shit. Similar to Starship Troopers, which is, veiled in a lighthearted shit, but it's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yep.
And I always enjoy those type of films that can sell it to the wide audience, but then once you start really peeling back the onion, you're like, God damn, this shit is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's a more Gen X film than this, realistically. Something that more yells out as a society for our age, that we're all about the here and now, but how quickly everything gets fucking thrown away and how much we just accept that in our age range. And I wanted your guys' thoughts on that.
I can't think of it. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of movies that came out around that time that, wasn't like, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Dog basically going to hell, going to heaven. That was something that wasn't really in that many put in that like thought where it was darker, going to hell, and then the heaven was more of a lighter version. Land Before Time, showing the death of his mother and everything, stuff like that. But I don't know. I think this one's more dark. The thing is, when you look at this movie and you see like you said, the cover that Mike showed, it's very happy. It looks like a very happy movie. Then you watch this movie, it's like, wow, this movie gets pretty deep and everything else. There are movies that are
Dumbo.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the mother being chained up inside
That's
the
another one.
Yeah.
It's another one. I mean, it's
got-
along the same lines as this.
You're right. You're right. And that one was
100%.
done in the 60s, I believe, wasn't it? 60s or 70s? I think Dumbo, I don't remember what that was.
I feel like earlier, but I could be wrong.
I think it was the 60s, but I could be wrong. I think because because the fucking dream sequence. I mean, that shit was like dark as shit.
Yeah.
The dream sequence in Dumbo and everything else freaked me out as a kid.
Sequence and fucking of Toaster.
With the fucking clown. Like you said the clown wasn't even supposed to be in the movie. They tried to take that out, right, Ragnar?
They did.
The clown, the toaster trying to kill himself, and the whole junkyard scene.
Oh wow, 1941
was actually supposed to be. They wanted it taken out of the movie itself, but they left it in.
Well, the fact that they had the scene with the tub and the toaster, that's shocking that they kept it in there, because that was a known way of people killing themselves.
But the reason it existed is like, what would a toaster be afraid of?
Yeah.
And there you go.
Okay. See, that's a blooper. That's a blooper in the movie because the toaster's been underwater. But I guess he wasn't plugged in.
No, he wasn't plugged in.
Okay, because in the dream sequence, he was plugged in, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so then there's no blooper there then. So they got that right though. So wow, that's crazy. That's crazy that they went that route.
All right, so if a toaster that is conscious is thrown into a bath and thereby electrocutes the human that's in the bath. Did the toaster commit murder and was murdered, or were they both murdered by that person?
No, I would call it almost like homicide to the toaster and suicide. It's like two things on itself. It's homicide and suicide.
Whoever threw the toaster into the water.
Yeah, because he's killing the toaster.
Only gays. He kills gays.
Yeah.
It's a double homicide.
It's homicide.
Okay,
It's
homicide.
a double homicide.
Simple mind. Come on, man. You know I'm fucked up with words.
What does you simple mind have to do with that?
I don't know, because
with pronunciation.
Then simple word. I don't know what other term is. I can't think of a word. I don't say things right all the time. I didn't do well in school. There you go. Gotta admit it. Jesus Christ. Fuck you, man. Fuck you.
Whoever tossed the toaster in is guilty of double homicide.
But technically, the toaster is the one that's killing the one in the bath.
But not intentionally, because the
May not
person
be
is taking the
intentionally,
poster with
but
their hands.
That is, the toaster is the one discharging electricity, which thereby kills the person in the bath.
Not intentionally. So at most, they would
manslaughter.
This is a weird debate.
Involuntary homicide.
I mean, that'd be fucking terrible.
Most would be involuntary.
And imagine if it was Master that was in the bath. How fucked up that would be to toaster at the time. All right.
What if Master was in the bath, grabbed the toaster,
yes,
threw it up in the air, and killed them both?
Exactly.
Just think of that dream sequence.
That'd be even worse of the worst outcome that toaster could have had.
What if the dream sequence had
where
the
he's
kid
killing
in the tub?
Master because Master is killing him? All right.
That would kill Blanket.
That's a murder suicide.
By the way, when Blanket early in the film, when he was hearing the car come, he's like, Master. Oh my God, I felt so much for fucking Blanky at that goddamn time. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck.
And then we found out
and
what
there's
Master.
nobody there. I'm like, oh, no.
That baby.
Oh.
That baby yell
Isn't
that
it
he
a
did.
little weird that they call him fucking Master?
It was, but I don't know what they would call him. I mean,
what's that blanket
they're
been
not going to
used
call him
for?
Daddy. That'd be even fucking weirder.
Oh, God.
Oh, Daddy, wrap me up.
Daddy's home. Daddy's home.
Daddy pushes my buttons so good.
Oh, God. See, that just bothers me. It just bothers me. I don't like that. That ruins it for me. Fuck that. No, I don't even want to think of that.
So Master's better?
You're ruining it. Fuck. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
The weirdest thing is talking about this, this is G-rated. I think it's G-rated.
I don't think it has a rating.
I
Okay.
don't know how this got a G rating.
No,
I
well,
have no idea.
no, but just the amount of suicide, murder, bullying. I mean, there's so much in this movie that you wouldn't expect in a G-rated movie. Well, like I said, we were talking about like Dumbo and all the other stuff.
So
but
if these were living objects, whether they're like dogs or some sort of conscious creature of some sort that were being shown and they were killing themselves and jumping off fucking cliffs and breaking their own necks, the analog that I would say the closest to the AC unit would be like breaking its own fucking neck.
well, what did Lampy exactly
all right.
break with a bulb? What do you think that's
That
breaking
would be
as a
fucking,
human?
giving yourself a tracheotomy. I mean, it just feels like
The breaking of the bulb was equivalent to busting a nut.
Lampy just fucking jizzed all over fucking everybody. Have my power! Yeah! My life essence!
Take that, bitches.
Spider-Man all over them. Jesus Christ.
This is welcome to our show, kids. Jesus. I will say this: the ending sequence, though, that's another dark scene. Oh, go ahead.
the ending, like you got Toaster throwing himself in the gears of the Smasher.
Another suicide, but a good suicide because you're sacrificing yourself for your family.
You're good. I mean, I get it.
I do have a problem with that scene. I have a problem with that scene because he throws himself in the gears, and all of a sudden he's being fixed by the master. Basically, I don't know why, but I remember that scene being a lot darker than it was. It was so quick to the point where he was like
So
fixed
why do you
up
have
and
a
everything.
problem with it?
Because I thought there was a scene where he actually pulled him out of
He
the
wanted to
gears.
see him suffer more.
Oh, yeah.
Is what he wanted. He wanted to see the guts coming out of fucking Toaster.
I kind of
You
did.
fucking twisted son of a bitch.
I kind of did.
All right. God.
He wanted to see chewed up toast coming out of the top of the toaster.
But that scene altogether right here.
He
is-
wanted something to jam his jelly. All right.
What the fuck?
You know how on some toasters you have the crumb tray that you can pull out?
Yeah.
For Ron, it'd be the cum tray.
I said crumb. All right.
Jesus Christ.
That's what he
By the
was
way, this
probably
is
hoping
such a
for.
depressing song.
For like the crumb tray to get spurted out and just dust flying out. So it's basically
This
like the
was
toaster is
such-
shitting himself
Yeah.
as it's getting chewed up.
All right. So this song right there, this scene, they're just talking about their ideal time of lives when they existed, and then how they are no longer worth a fuck. All right, there's nothing left for them to live for.
This is the best song in the movie.
Oh,
Like I said, it reminded me of Rocky Horror Picture Show with the way the music was. This is great.
Yeah.
And just seeing that fucking what is it? What is the magnet thing that's
But it's so fucking sad.
what is that thing? The
Magnet.
it's just a giant
Oh,
okay,
the magnet.
The giant magnet with the fucking eyes and everything, and it was like hunting
That was its job.
group. Yeah. I thought that was crazy.
That
You
was
just see the
its
side shot.
reason for existence. Well, everybody else's reason for existence is already gone.
Yeah.
And that's why it's getting rid of them. Its reason for existence to do this. And if it can't do that, then it needs to die also.
Yeah.
All right. So it is
I
on a
would say
fucking mission.
He's not very good at his job.
I think he is good at the job.
Well, he
I don't
killed a
think
lot
he
of
is.
cars in that
Because-
just one sequence altogether.
Because if you look at it, all right, and all of those mountains of cars that are still stacked very, very high, all right, he is not doing his job. for
He's
6
doing his job fine. It's just they're only operating for a short fucking windows at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
And
don't
he
know
is
that.
trying to move.
You don't know that.
If
He could be operating 24/7.
If he was operating 24/7, then that wouldn't have built up as high, or that world is like Wall-E world, like where everything is just fucking being demolished immediately and trash is being built up everywhere.
I'm going to go with he sucks at his job.
Yeah. But the whole thing is that I liked it how it was like a mute character. Like
and
he didn't
another
have a voice.
suicide at the end of that.
Which was a suicide? The toaster?
The toaster did a suicide. The last vehicle.
Yeah, you said
that
the
goes
last,
in the
last vehicle was actually like running.
Once again, suicides.
So I guess the tagline for this movie, enjoy this movie, happy joy, suicide. I mean, basically that's what it was. It's just
this movie
Have
is so
fun.
goddamn
Happy
in
unaliving
shape.
yourself.
Yeah. This movie is so in shape because of all the suicides that it does. All right, it is fucking peak physical performance.
Crazy, it's fucking crazy. Yeah,
suicide.
It was a good sequence though. I thought it was really cool how they did it, how the animation was. And
This
everything
movie
else.
was written by a vet.
Damn.
Ragnar laughed.
That's all I'm laughing. Yeah,
that made me happy.
All right.
I'm sorry.
You picked a good movie to
I
talk
did.
about, though.
I really did.
And I never would have expected this type of debate in this movie. Actually, it got a lot more.
Which is the reason I picked it.
Exactly.
I loved it when I was a wee little one. And
A wee little lad.
Yes.
Wee
And then
little
as
Stu.
I was growing up and doing all my extracurricular drugs that I was doing at the fucking time, I'm watching this shit. I'm like, holy shit, this shit is fucked.
Watching this shit
This shit
high
is
would be
fucked.
interesting.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. I can
All right,
see this
both
being a good
high
movie.
and tripping. All right, it was. All right, it was.
I
fucked.
talked to a lot of people just this week alone because I was talking about the podcast because I haven't been to work in a while and say, hey, what's going? So how's your show doing? Yeah, we're doing the Brave Little Toaster this week. I'm like, dude, that movie's dark as fuck. Like I've heard so many people saying the exact same thing. Everybody remembers this movie being dark, and then you look at all the Google, all the YouTube videos, other podcasts that have talked about it, and everything's just darkness. This movie ruined my child life and everything else. Just like it said, I think Snow said the same thing to Ragnar.
Why did Snow say that? Did she elaborate to you why it ruined her childhood?
Well, it's not that it didn't ruin her childhood. It ruined her good memories of the movie.
Okay.
What she remembers.
So just like the Bram Stoker Dracula.
Did she
So she enjoyed it
elaborate,
before?
though? Did she just think it was a shitty movie now, or was it the darkness, or what was it that ruined her happy memories?
She really didn't elaborate too much on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it seems like
she remembered it. She remembered it one way. She remembered it being not so dark, and it was, happy and everything like that. And then watching it today, it was a complete fucking opposite.
Yep.
So,
And
she said the same thing about Breakfast Club too. Because the Breakfast Club she used to enjoy, and then she did an episode on it, and then she can't stand that movie because being a mother and everything else, and just seeing the kids the way that they were, she tore that movie apart.
Yeah,
but she liked it before, so it goes back to where we grew up with movies. Then you watch it when you're older, it's like, I don't like this movie all that much. Just like you guys did with Bram Stoker's Dracula, because you guys enjoyed that movie in the past, but now you hate it. So,
okay.
I think it's like, you watch it as a kid, with innocence, and you just enjoy the movie for what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as you grow up, you see, holy fuck.
It opens your
Whoever
world.
wrote this is fucking twisted. And now you see it for what it was written as. And it's like, what the fuck was this dude thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look something up real quick. Because I know you're probably going to your Pine reviews, but I'm going to look up something. I'm going to see top twisted movies of the 80s, or animated movies. I'm curious if this even hits the list. So
This was originally written in 1980 and published as a short story, as you mentioned before.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't turned into a
and Disney optioned it fairly quick for that time frame. They optioned it fairly quick. I think it was like 81, 82 when they optioned it.
82.
Which for that time frame, it isn't like nowadays where they option shit before it's even fucking released. And shit like that, where they basically you have to have word of mouth spread in order for them to come across this and be like, oh shit, yeah, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and make a fucking movie about this. God damn.
But no publisher wanted to touch it for a book until 1986.
Yeah.
It was the next year that they turned it into a movie. But the publishers, like, they like, look, dude, you're not a kid story writer.
Nope.
Like, we don't want to touch this. But the books themselves are more poetic and more science fiction than the movie is.
Care Bears the movie. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was
darkness.
That was fucking dark as shit. I remember that fucking ending was creepy as fuck with the kid going all evil and everything. I remember that one. Watership Down. You guys remember that one? With the
Nope.
That's got some bloody buddy, like bunnies like fucking goring each other basically, and it's a kids movie. It gets pretty violent and everything else. I mean, there's a couple movies out here I've never even heard of. And see if you guys are Mouse and His Child from 1977. The Plague of Dogs.
Yeah.
Animal Olympics. I don't know what the fuck that is. 1980. Let's see. We got The Black Cauldron. That's one. Let's see. Raggedy Ann and Andy, a musical adventure from 1977.
Yep.
The Last Unicorn. Was that dark? I've never seen The Last Unicorn, but I know that's like a well-known film. And also The Witches, which is not even an animated movie. And then I saw the Brave Little Toaster, Dot and His Kangaroo. Oh, Dumbo, the dream sequence. So, so there was a lot of movies, but I think if you were to pick one that was the darkest, this would have to be number one, in my opinion.
It's fucking up there.
Because it hides it for the kids. Like kids younger wouldn't understand it, but as kids grow older to get in their teens, you're like, wow, this movie's dark as shit. You start to realize it more you watch it as you get older. So yeah. It's kind of like a hidden thing. But
All right. Anybody else got any other points you want to hit on before we get to our reviews?
I'm good. I think we pretty much covered everything on it. I mean, covered
Good.
a lot of the
Good.
dark shit and
All right.
some of the happy shit.
All right, Ron, go ahead and start us off.
Okay, this is hard. I'm gonna have to get this movie for an enjoyment. I'll go with enjoyment first. Watching this now, again after not seeing it for a long time, because I don't remember seeing this until it's like the early '90s, maybe mid '90s or something like that. But I remember seeing it a lot of times. But watching it now, I had a smile on my face. I was enjoying it. I was like, this is bringing back memories. So from a nostalgic point, I loved it. I think this is a fun movie. Yes, it's dark. It does have a moral to it. I mean, you see these characters, you really get connected to these characters. And, you know, you are right. Lampy probably should have died. That would have made the story a little bit more... It would have really gotten even darker if that happened. But I mean, all the little hidden facts of suicide, self-suicide. I mean, the murder. I mean, basically the fucking torture scene with the junkyard guy with the blender. I mean, that shit broke my heart when I was a kid. I was seeing that scene. I was like, I was sad. I was like, I didn't like seeing that scene. But this movie's still enjoyable, and I was glad to introduce it to my kids. But it was weird seeing their like, it was okay. Like they weren't really into it. But I guess they just did. I guess when they get older, they'll understand it more because they, seeing it at a younger age. I would give this probably about a 4 for an enjoyment. This was, enjoyable. I just for a nostalgic point, I enjoyed this movie. I'd watch it again. And I don't really watch that many kid movies. But when it comes to the movies that I grew up with, I will watch those more than the ones that come out now because, it reaches out to your heart because of how much you enjoyed it as a kid. It's a well done movie. Critically, with the amount of writing and the way that they did it and how it kind of hid the adult themes, seriously with the darkness and the music. Even the music was okay. There was a couple songs I didn't care for. Like we didn't even talk about the fucking sequence out in the with the animals out with the swamp and the fucking frogs and the squirrels.
I mean,
we talked about the flower.
Yeah, we touched on that scene.
It was a very happy joy scene. You see all those animals like goodbye when they're leaving and everything else. It was like all cheery and everything. But critically, this movie, I'd probably have to give this about a 3.5. I think they really did a good job making this. This is a well done animated movie. I thought it was very well done for its time. Like I said, I think everybody should watch it. I think a lot of people watch it nowadays because they see all the history about how, this is a dark movie. This is not what you expect. It's not like a happy joy movie. So I think it is something to be edged down in animation history. So yeah, 3.5 for critical. I think they it really reaches out. It shows a side of animation that they never showed in other movies. I mean, other movies have shown dark themes, but the fact that they do suicide, I don't think you see much suicide in movies. Do you? I don't recall any other movies with suicide.
I recall a lot of movies with suicide, not kids movies.
Right. I'm talking about kids movies. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
This one really had balls to release it something like that, and especially being sort of you said sort of owned by Disney and everything else. So I wonder if Disney kind of keeps this on the back burner just like the Black Cauldron.
No, they don't. So
because it's not on Disney
partially
Plus.
finance it, but it's owned underneath that other company.
Yeah.
Which Disney does not have the rights to.
So
Disney
it
did
probably
have the
has,
rights
like,
to the sequels.
Yeah.
And that's why the sequels are on Disney Plus.
Yes, because I've seen the sequels even on Apple TV, but I assume like does the DVD say Walt Disney Presents on it, Mike? Does it have any Disney emblem on it at all, or is it?
It's not Hyperion.
Disney Presents The Brave Little Toaster.
Yeah, so Disney Presents. That's what I figured. Yeah, so it's like they co-own it and everything else. But yeah, that's what I give it. I give it a 4 for enjoyment and 3.5. It's recommended. I mean, seriously, for even historical facts for a animated movie that had balls to put in a kids movie. You never would have seen that in other kids movie. I mean, like I said, there's darker themes in other movies from the 80s, but this one really crossed the line a little bit, in my opinion. So yeah, there you go. That's mine.
Okay. Ragnar.
All right. Enjoyment 3.5. Critical is a 4.
Oh.
Now, I remember this movie a certain way. Kind of the way that Snow did.
So, but it still holds a fond memory for me. So, it's enjoyable for that, for the nostalgia factor of it. Critically, I think they did a very good job of, for a kids movie, like going into a lot of fucking depth and detail of this would be this would probably be considered a very taboo subject.
Yeah.
Especially for a kids movie. Back then and even still today. But murder in kids movies is perfectly fine though. Okay. Let's set the record straight for that, apparently. But like this one here did a very good job of, some of it was very upfront in your face. Other parts of it was subtle. If you weren't paying too close attention to it. So if nobody's ever, I don't know why somebody wouldn't have seen it. You know, if they haven't, then at least give it a watch. You know, give it a watch with an open mind and an open eye. So,
an open brown eye.
No, an open pink eye.
Magic Mike.
So, like I said, there's a lot of history with this movie for me, for both my kids. I just looked at this DVD, and this DVD is the 15th anniversary edition of this movie.
Oh wow!
Jesus.
So I had it on VHS. So my daughter wore out the VHS. My son watched this DVD. So for enjoyment, I'm giving it 3 3/4 because just the nostalgia for me, because both of my kids love this movie. We watched it over and over and over. I never got tired of watching it. Even this time when I watched it, like my son was sitting with me, and my son's 22 now. Like, it's not like he's a little kid, but when we were watching it, we were both little kids.
Was he sitting on your lap?
I remember. No, he wasn't. But like I remember this scene, and we're watching. I remember this, and it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun watching it with them at 22 years old. And if my daughter had been here when we watched it, it would have been the same with her.
Yeah.
So 3 3/4 for enjoyment. Critical. I love the animation style.
It's classic.
Yeah. It's not super simple. It's not super complicated. I think the story has some disconnects in it. Like when Kirby sucks up his when he has his seizure, whatever the fuck it was. Just before that, he had also swallowed his cord, but he did it on purpose. But now all of a sudden it's a problem. Like that's a disconnect for me.
Okay.
But I think the adult themes in it, the darkness that we've been talking about, I think overshadows that. I think all of these Disney movies and these kids movies should have themes that attract adults to it, and I think they did a good job of it.
Yeah.
I think it was on purpose, and within the story itself, I think they did a good job of it. There's no less than 5 attempted unaliving themselves scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
And for a kids movie, that's fucking dark.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous dark. And the kids will never pick up on it. But the adults that watch it will. And I think it makes them think. So critically, I think I'm gonna go 3 3/4 as well, because like everything I said, animation style, the way it was written, the topics, and the way they put the story forward for kids and for adults at the same time.
Right.
Because kids will be oblivious to all that, as my kids were. But now my son is watching. He goes, "Oh my God, I never realized that before."
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I saw that when I was watching it with you, but like you enjoyed it, so I let you watch it. And he goes, "But I see it now." And I'm like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they won't pick up on the little things that pop up into the movie if they don't know anything about it.
Right.
Even if it's blatantly in front of them, you know, like they'll just think that like fucking Toaster's in danger while he's hanging from a curtain rod.
Yeah.
You know,
they're not going to put 2 and 2 together that Toaster in a dream sequence hanging above a bathtub is someone dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my kids didn't say anything about that at all. They didn't even think that. And I think, like I said, the older they get, they understand. Then they'll start to think, that's going a whole lot different.
Parent watching that,
yeah,
that scared the shit out of me. like what the fuck?
Yeah,
like, but
and you're giving that
kid,
side eye to the kids to see if they're showing any sort of reaction. You're like, am I gonna have to have a conversation here in a minute? I mean, it's just a little fucked up. Or
your kids didn't ask any questions
afterwards. Like, because like the movie Scream, like my daughter loves the movie Scream, and she has since she's a kid. But I never let her watch the first 15 minutes of that movie because of the hanging in the tree.
Yeah.
And as long as I never let her watch the first 15 minutes of the movie, it never scared her. But when she was old enough to watch the movie on her own, and she watched the first 15 minutes of the movie, she looked at me, she goes, "Dad, now I know why you made me not watch the first 15 minutes of that movie."
Right.
It's the same way with this. Like, I'm glad they're oblivious to the subject matter that the adults were getting.
They did a good job at hiding it too, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's it.
Okay. Very good. Well, before I get my reviews, thank you, gentlemen. I really do appreciate you joining me on this.
This is a good pick.
I appreciate
it. Like, you always picked a unique. This was a very unique pick. You went like, we're going for the animated series. I'm doing I did more of like a crude comedy type of deal. And you did a happy joy. I mean, a kid movie, but really, it's not really a happy joy kid movie. It's actually pretty damn dark.
Yeah.
So, and it's probably darker than all the other movies that we're doing in the next 3 that we're doing. So it's just wow.
But this was my formative time.
Yeah.
This is something that I've watched from a young age, super young age, to late teens, and
now an adult.
It helped form me.
Now, would you watch this again?
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. Okay.
And now I kind of actually want to, in a few years, watch it again with my youngest to see if he picks up on any or knowingly picks up on any of the darker themes that go with it. I remember telling my oldest's mom that we were doing this, and she's known me since I was 11, 12 years old.
Right.
So she's like, that's always one of your favorite movies. I'm like, yep. She's like, that movie's fucked up. I'm like, yep. That's why we're doing it. And and I'm showing my old, I'm showing our son. And she's like, all right, let's see what he picks up on. And it's the oldest son, so he picked up on a lot of shit and just giving eye contact through some of the darker scenes. And he's just like, this is the fucking kids movie? I'm like, yep. He's like, yeah, Dad, you're fucked. I'm like, yes, I am. But no, I enjoyment though whether it was from back then or to now with a nostalgia aspect. It's a 4.25 to me. It is something
Nice.
that is twisted, that is
up your alley.
Yeah, it right is. I can turn my brain off and just look at the happy, sunny side of it. But even then, you have that nagging feeling, that uncomfortable feeling, and it gives you an emotional feeling.
Right.
It may be a fucked up feeling, but it gives you an emotional feeling.
Yeah.
Which is a sign of a good film to me. It's something that, whether it leaves you happy, sad, angry, upset, creeped out, whatever, if it gives you a truly emotional feeling, then it's done its fucking job.
Right.
It's reached out and it's fucking touched you. And it still does to this day. And it brought me all the way back to the first time I saw it, to each of the subsequent times I saw it.
Yeah.
And each time, like, yes, I'm happy. I'm happy that it still holds up. For critical, I'll give it a strong 4. A very strong 4. There are a couple of small little hiccups, like when they're in the scene with the animals and shit like that, and all of a sudden the super important chair with the battery that they absolutely fucking needed before they left the fucking house, or else they couldn't leave the fucking house, is nowhere to be found.
Mm-hmm.
No longer fucking needed, obviously, for that part, but then the chair eventually fucking pops back up. And it's like, okay, not simple continuity error, but
it's not a perfect
shit like that. No.
Yeah.
There's small shit. There is small shit that happens. I understand Phil Hartman trying to do the Nicholson inspired voice for the AC, but it wasn't necessarily needed. I don't think. I think he could have done a slightly different voice.
Well,
but he nailed the Peter Lorre inspired voice for the hanging lamp. That was fucking perfection. But the Jack Nicholson inspired voice wasn't necessarily needed.
It's sort of, when he did the freak out, it kind of faded off and went to a completely different type of voice.
Kind of,
when he did his freak out. In the beginning was kind of Nicholson, and then it kind of just went to just a freak out, a different type, in my opinion.
But I mean, there's just small shit that prevent it from being higher on the list.
Yeah.
Is it the most groundbreaking animation? No, but is it animation that feels nice? Yes. It's animation that fits with that time frame very well. Is it the greatest? No. Is it the worst? No. Does it make you feel happy and paint the story? Yes.
Yeah.
So small stuff like that. That's what I said. It's a very, very strong 4 for critical. I absolutely recommend people watch this. If you haven't seen it in decades and you remember it as this great happy movie that you loved from your fucking childhood, and you haven't watched it since you got a little bit older, watch it.
Watch it.
Yeah.
It'll ruin it.
It'll ruin the idea of what it was.
Yeah.
But it'll make you appreciate more. Because I do think it's laying the groundwork for the real world in your head when you're a fucking kid. For what you're going to grow up in. It's not telling you you're going to grow up and everything's going to be happy and rainbows and shit like that. No. Shit happens. You're going to remember back in the past as the good old days.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to fucking recapture those.
The more you watch this being younger and getting older, you'll start to learn more in the movie.
Yes.
I think you're going to catch more details as you get older watching
But I
this.
think it's laying the groundwork in your subconscious
Yeah.
to accept reality for what it is, and to continue moving forward.
Right.
Which is what they all did. They all just chose, fuck it, we're not going to stand here and just wait and hope and pray that Master's going to come back. Fuck it, we're going after him.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to take some ownership in our fucking lives. And they did. Yep. And I think that lays a groundwork when you're young and you see this. So I definitely suggest people rewatch it and show their young ones now. I really do.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, I will say
guys.
this was fun. This was fun. This was a good pick, Stu, and appreciate you picking this movie. I'm actually glad to watch it again because I haven't seen it in such a long time. So it's always nice to reminisce movies that you watch when as a child. But seriously, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We have 3 more coming your way in the future. The next episode coming up is Treasure Planet. And we also are regular here who actually I'm going to let you plug your show.
Magic Mike.
I am Mike D from Take on the World. You can search us for Take on the World Pod, TOTW Pod, on YouTube, Spotify, almost any place else you listen to podcasts. I also do Berks County Unsolved Deluxe Edition, where we look at unsolved murders from the Berks County, Pennsylvania area and the surrounding communities. Take on the World, we take on just about any topic and we look at it through a historical lens. I think our last one was
the Jack the Ripper episode. I was just about to say that
we did an update on Jack the Ripper. DNA evidence has shown who Jack the Ripper is. So if you don't know who Jack the Ripper was, we have solved that mystery.
Yep.
And all you got to do is listen to our podcast, and you'll know who the heck it was. We also just did, which will go up as we're talking, which is the 28th of February. Will go up tonight. The Escape from Alcatraz.
Oh, nice.
The most famous escape from Alcatraz, even though there were 14 attempts or successful attempts. From Alcatraz, the most famous one. That will go up later tonight if I finish everything. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know.
Well, this episode, the episode will probably be out already for a while because this one's going to be dropping sometime between end of March to early April. So,
good. So,
you got plenty of time.
Go back to February 28th.
Yeah.
Or March 1st and look for Escape from Alcatraz by Take on the World.
Awesome. Yeah, no, seriously, check it out. I just actually checked out their the Jack the Ripper episode. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that episode. Mike, is always great to have a guest on our show. He's been a regular guest.
And I was just watching you and Goot doing
the My Bloody Valentine?
My Bloody Valentine. And I have to say one thing. The scarf is called an ascot.
Yeah, I saw that in your comments. It was kind of...
I've always felt that the miner, and that's what he's called, the miner, doesn't get enough respect in the horror genre.
Yeah. Yes.
In fact, the custom-made horror shirt that I have made has the miner on it with all the rest of the better-known slasher film slashers, Jason, Michael, and Freddy.
Yeah, because Goot and I did talk about how we are so surprised that movie did not release any other sequels other than the remake, and it was the remake. They only released that movie, but it was a fun theater experience. I got to see that in the theater, and I enjoyed it. It made it so much better.
Me and I can't. My brain is fried, and I've been drinking all night. So we did a side by side of the original My Bloody Valentine with the remake.
Okay.
Ray from 10 Cent.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Ray from Deluxe Edition.
Yeah, Deluxe Edition.
10 Cent Beer Night.
Me and Ray did a side by side of those two movies, and I had said that maybe
I think the remake actually did really fucking well. Might be better than the original.
Well, I had made the statement to him that the remake might be better than the original, and we did the podcast, and we went back and forth on the two, and I stepped back and I said, you know what, Ray, you were right. I think the original was better, with the exception of if you were looking for nudity, because
yeah, we did say
that's always a plus.
Goose said the 3 Bs.
Yep.
What was it? I'm just trying to remember what the 3 B was like. Blood, and what was it? What was the third one?
Bestiality. I don't know.
I don't know, something like that. Altogether, it was a fun episode. You definitely have to check that out. Me and Goot do little single episodes here and there on movies. Actually, I've been doing one with all the single guys. Me and Stu did a great one on the Toxic Avenger And we have another one coming forward with Donnie Darko. Me and Ragnar are going to do something down in the future. And Chase and I just did They Live, which will be releasing soon, which is a very fun episode. I think it'll be released before this, actually. So check that out.
Toxic Avenger one was very good too. So don't forget to listen to these guys. All their stuff is great. I love listening to you guys, and I'm honored to be here doing this with you guys. I love being invited.
We love having you.
Yeah.
So
Mike, you're always great. You're always a great guest. And Ragnar, thanks, buddy. You just that's typical Ragnar right there. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and end the show right here. And guys, check us out next week, and make sure to
ring-a-ling, that ding-a-ling to get notified.
Yes, please make sure to comment, and please subscribe. I mean, seriously, I really hope you guys enjoy the show. We take a lot of time of our lives to do this because we enjoy it, but we also want you guys to enjoy it.
I fucking hate it. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. You just
I'm a fucking masochist.
Well, you guys just like punishing me. But all together, guys, that's the end of our show. So we will see you guys later.
No, you won't.
There you go. Thank you for listening to Barrel Age Flicks. If you like our show, please leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Guys, this helps out enormously. Give us a follow on Instagram at Barrel Age Flicks Podcast. If you would like to send us a special film request, please contact us via Instagram, and we will give you a personal shout out on the show. We are also on Facebook and Twitter. Our podcast is available on Apple Podcasts. We are officially also on YouTube in video form. And also Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Audible, Pocket Cast, Spotify, CastBox, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. Make sure you check out Barrel Age Chicks, our spin-off show where you get the girl's perspective. Subscribe to our Patreon for uncut video and early access to our podcast. Special thanks to Carl Casey at White Bat Audio on YouTube for his awesome music. This guy fucking rocks. Check him out. Want to give a shout out to Sammy, one of our guest hosts on the show who does our amazing album artwork. Thank you, Sammy. Hope you join us for our next episode. Later, guys.